derivative, Jill.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Hello and welcome to Plomeek Teatime number 59. And today we are discussing Star Trek Nemesis, and it's because it is ScottyR37's choice for his birthday review choice.
Scotica.
Yeah, it's the end of it.
It is. This marks the end of Scotica.
It does. And and I'm happy to welcome Raymond from King Dolphin TV, who has a more positive view of the film than I do. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's so rare that I get a chance to join your show because I'm usually working. So it's great that I can do it, and it's a pleasure to be here with you, Scotty, and the Commodore.
Oh yeah, I'm so glad that you can be here because this is a film I wouldn't want to review without you, because you actually have a different perspective on it. And so does Commodore Boone. Commodore Boone thinks it's all right too. So
it's a great film.
For you.
Okay, let's not go crazy.
I know. So like, I do not agree. But
those are fighting words.
Are they? Okay, that's fine.
Well, and
okay, so this is the last time I'll play this.
Okay.
Since it's the end. Oh, no. Where is it?
Except, of course, happy birthday. Surely the best of times.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Now the look on Kirk's face makes more sense. We're talking about now.
Agree. Thank God.
And I'd like to also welcome the chat. Gavin Blackburn says terrible movie. I know there was a few chats before, but StreamYard nuked them. I agree. It's awful. And Franco says no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
But PvP says one of the greatest films of all time.
I can see. You say that you can't read sarcasm in chat, but I can hear it. I can hear the sarcasm.
I'm saying it sarcastically. PvP is not. I think
like
he's being sincere. Yeah.
Well, good.
He says, "I love this movie."
The
sarcasm was my introduction of my feelings into his words, which is not fair to PvP. He likes it.
Well, and it's one of those things that I've really been grappling with, and as it is a filthy Friday, when we move forward throughout Star Trek, if there are things that you like about bad Star Trek, I am so pleased for you. Like, I love that people like Star Trek, even if it's bad Star Trek.
Yeah, for me, yeah, that makes sense for at least up until 2005. PvP says the grin on Picard's. Well, I mean, if you like something afterwards, I'll still be nice, I guess. The grin on Picard's face sums up how I feel about this film.
Which Picard? Picard or Shinzon?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome PvP.
Hey.
We've got 3 people who are positive about this movie here. Hello.
Oh,
yay.
Hi. Sorry I'm running late. Slipped in through the alarm, and then I got an appointment this afternoon.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I better have a quick shower, and so I'm running way behind. I apologize, Jill.
No problem at all. You're not late. Okay, so JT Kirk says, "Hail, lurking while working. I give this sad excuse for film 3 arm brings raspberries."
I'm really looking forward to this because I just love how people love to hate this movie. I find it kind of entertaining. It actually makes me kind of giggle.
Good, because I have lots of it.
I kind of love it when people dogpile on something with the hate. It's just like, okay, sure, group hate, think of whatever, but you know.
I wouldn't say that. Opinion. Oh dear, no, we can all have different opinions, but I'm being totally honest with my opinion. I don't have any kind of group think or sheeple mentality. I don't like when that's thrown around.
I'm just in a really goofy, fun mood today, Jill. So, don't take everything I say too seriously.
Okay. Well,
just having
I
fun.
might still anyway.
I'm in a good mood. I'm in a really. I don't
I'm
know
so
why.
glad.
Never wake up.
Okay.
And, you're in a great mood. I don't know why, but I am.
Well, I'm glad you're
Friday,
here,
that's
PvP. It's Friday, yeah.
Yeah, well, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I didn't ask how you guys are doing, so I know
Well,
how
obviously,
PvP
I'm
is
doing
doing.
okay. Oh my!
But
I
I
can't
did thank
stop
you guys
laughing.
for being
Oh,
here.
jeez.
But if you ever want to interject with that, you can. Teatime says, my evil twin, bad weather friend. He always wanted to start where I wanted to begin. And Teatime is more poetic than this movie. Franco Walker says, the only positive thing I can say about this movie is that it ended. What's up, Plus C Nation? Says Aretha. Hey, what's up? Raises my Nemesis roll sign. That's King Dolphin TV.
Do you have a flag?
Yeah.
See, and this is
that-
the if you are a fan of Star Trek Picard, this is the season premiere of that television series.
Oh my God! Don't say that.
I'm not a fan of Picard, this series at all.
But
I
this
do,
is what
I do have fun with this movie for some weird reason. I'm not sure why, but I kind of like it.
Like if you are going into Star Trek Picard, I would say that you start with Unification 1 and 2. That's the Next Generation two-parter with Spock. Then you watch Nemesis, because that sort of opens the olive branch between the Romulan Empire and the Federation. And then Picard carries on from there. And if you really want to be technical about it, you watch this movie, then you watch Star Trek 2009 to learn about the Hobos supernova. And then you get to watch Picard, which
how much more on the head can you be than to name your ramen and Nero? Oh man,
that's Nero.
True. Wow, girl! Wow.
So automatic F.
Oh yeah, are you kidding? Star Trek Picard, all of it is just terrible, awful. I don't know. If you want to ever talk about any of that, I can. But
sounds like
I still think
Scotty's got it all mapped out though.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So we needed a view guide on how to watch that
Terrible Star Trek.
Except
the two-parter.
The
two-parter with Spock is good.
You can go on
Scotty,
a journey with
Scotty,
Scotty.
Scotty will be teaching a community college class on it next year, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is the sound of my virginity growing back.
Oh, jeez.
DJ Play Nice. Hello to DJ Play Nice.
Hey,
this
DJ.
movie is great at being terrible, says Gavin Blackburn. I would rather watch this than Star Trek 5. Oh, wow, Franco. I like Star Trek 5 way more.
Yeah, leaps and bounds.
Oh, hey, I'm sweet. Shatter loves Nemesis. Jeez.
Cool.
That's okay. Yeah, Scotty and I are already outnumbered in this panel. And then and then Scotty wants to be positive. So I don't know.
I'm trying. Gorilla's fighting me though in the chat.
I'm
crazy.
Actually, I'm still filtering a little bit. Gorilla's random thought says, "Hey everyone, I'll be able to actually get your ass the panel because I got fired."
You get used to it.
What?
You're
fired.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, it's fine. You know when when a toddler
joke.
falls down and they start to get upset and then you just say it was awesome like they're a stunt man. That's what happens when people get fired. You should say, but bigger and better things. Move forward. Congratulations.
Gorilla's making a joke because I talked to him.
Yeah.
He's got terrible blizzard conditions, and obviously his boss called him and said, "Don't come in for the shift today."
Okay. Thank you, PvP.
So,
He's always lying about getting fired. Like he said something about that last year.
He did that before, like
New
a month
Year's.
ago. He did the same joke.
And then he was like, I'm fired until next year. Like, okay, come on.
During the Christmas break. Yeah.
You know
exactly.
what? Gorilla, you're gonna have the problem of the boy who cried wolf, and when you actually get fired, I'm not gonna believe you.
And then Gorilla will be on here doing a stream to try to raise a few dollars to pay the rent.
No, I won't give this F for Scotty. It's a FU out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I just hope
Okay,
I just
so-
hope Gorilla's power stays on because he was worried about that last night. He mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Scotty, I know
Yes.
you don't like this movie.
Yes.
I guess why did you choose it? Just because you want to be nicer to it?
Well,
And then
come on.
and then advertise for the terrible post 2005 Star Trek.
I have been saying for a long time, ever since the end of Picard season 3, that I think that Picard season 3 is better than Star Trek Nemesis. And upon review of Star Trek Nemesis, I stand by that. And I just want to incorporate it in terms of the transition of where the filth begins and where good Star Trek ends. And Nemesis, in my opinion, take that for what it's worth, I think, well, the entire series of Star Trek Enterprise is better than Nemesis. You could take 2 episodes of Star Trek Enterprise and it's better than Nemesis.
Well, yeah,
And-
all of Enterprise is better than Nemesis, sure.
But
I can't say the same thing about Star Trek Picard season 3. That is
That's
not
fine.
in my wheelhouse.
That's fine. But
I
I did
totally disagree.
want to review it with like-minded individuals. And part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this particular Star Trek film is because you guys are like my favorite people to talk about Star Trek with. And so I thought it would be fun. Even if it's bad, like Star Trek is like pizza and coitus. Even when it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Wait,
Never heard that comparison before, but I'll go with it.
Raymond,
Yes, Joe.
you have something to say to Scott?
Yeah. And no matter how bad people think Nemesis is, there's one normal Trek movie that is worse. Insurrection.
I agree.
detested that one. Oh, I detest that one.
Well, then
I hate Insurrection. I think Insurrection is far worse than Nemesis.
I disagree. I would put Insurrection higher up on my list of Star Trek movies that I
not me.
enjoy.
I'm with King Dolphin on this one. I agree 100% with what he said.
I think
I don't like
Nemesis-
either of them. I think I rate them the same.
I think Nemesis and Into Darkness are on par.
Oh God! Oh,
Go ahead.
Nemesis is much better than Into Darkness. Into Darkness should be like in the lavatory, the men's room, what you clean
Yeah, but it's
yourself
got
with.
Peter Weller.
That's horrible.
Damn.
Into Darkness is one
tries
of the
to
worst
make-
films ever made. I hate it. with a
Yeah,
passion,
I agree.
'cause I paid
PvP.
money.
It's awful.
Well, my cousin and I saw it in the theater. We sat there for 2 hours. He wanted to see it, so I went along with it. So I go, okay. Even
Star
though I
Trek
wasn't
Into Darkness
expecting
was the
much.
only time I was in a
was
theater with the
painful-
other Star Trek
painful.
fans, and they were groaning like at different points
Oh,
during the movie.
Yeah.
I spent after 15 minutes. I spent the rest of the movie looking at my watch, going, "Okay, when is it going to end? When is it going to end?" it was horrible.
I blame Star Trek Into Darkness for the biggest heartbreak of my life because it was the last movie that I saw with my ex-girlfriend of many years ago when we saw it in the theater. And approximately like 4 or 5 days later, she broke up with me. And so ever since then, I've been like, I think J.J. Abrams ended my relationship with my girlfriend. Still think that movie is better than Nemesis.
Well, I could just tell you, I was just an early Star Trek fan, and I got Nemesis as a Christmas present. It was the first time I got a Star Trek present when I was just disappointed.
On VHS?
Like, okay. No, it was a DVD. I got into Star Trek late.
Yeah.
So this movie was released on December 13th, 2002. And even though...
same day as Return of the King, though, right?
Yeah, same day as Return of the King. Same time. And also, what else came out around there? There was something else that also released that was in contention with it. It was... Let's see. Oh, it's funny that it was let's see. Wow. Return of the King. Return of the King, really? Lord of the Rings. Two Towers. It was the Two Towers. Two Towers was released December 18th, 2002.
Okay.
And then
I knew there
it
was
also
a Lord of the Rings. I knew there was a Lord of the Rings that overshadowed.
Yeah, and then there was also James Bond, Die Another Day, and
which is also a terrible movie.
Also, still in theaters at the time was it released on November 15th was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
I just got all the Harry Potters on Blu-ray.
Yeah. So, but bands were not willing to hang around for this movie because it cost $60,000, but it only made $70,000.
60,000.
Oh, 60 million. $60 million. Excuse me.
Okay.
Thank you. I know, right?
This movie must have cost a couple of hundred.
Okay. 60 million.
They put every dollar on screen then.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, 60 million. The movie cost 60 million, but it only made 70 million, which it beat out the failure of Star Trek V, which cost 27 million and grossed 52 million, which is still really bad, but at least it's double the cost.
Double the cost.
And I want to say hello to Kronos.
Hey, Kronos.
Hey, Kronos.
Looking sharp, Commodore.
Yeah, it's kind of
all right. All right.
Yeah, anything positive I can discover during this live stream, I'll be happy about. And that is a cool uniform.
Heck yes.
I hate all the JJ films. That was the downfall.
What?
Yes, agreed, Franco Walker.
Star Trek Beyond is good.
On your
I
side.
stand by
it. I didn't mind the third one.
Yeah, sure.
That's Beyond.
I love how Spock stalks his girlfriend.
Looking sharp, Raymond.
I thought about asking for a refund after the movie ended, but I thought, oh, screw it. I was just so apathetic about life after seeing that movie. I just thought, who cares about anything anymore? I just saw the worst film of my entire existence. So my cousin and I, then we went to a bar and, we got a cab. We got a cab. And we went to a bar and stayed there till closing time and got loaded. So it was still not a total waste of a night.
That's how I enjoy a bad movie. Is I try and kill the brain cells that inhabit the movie that I just saw.
Well, that just depends on whether or not your brain. It just depends on whether or not the movie didn't kill all your brain cells first.
Yeah, tried.
I like that.
Well, next year we'll review Star Trek Beyond.
All right.
At least it gives you 365 days, Jill.
I get to dread it for the entire year.
Yes.
Hello, Keith E. lurking in the shadows. Yes, thank you to everybody who's listening, even if you're only lurking or listening to this on the replay. You're awesome.
Yeah, hi,
Super
Chad.
Jazz, super happy.
Hello to the chat.
Oh, what's
do
this?
we have PvP, do we have a cringe stock marathon to change your mind, it being the worst movie?
Oh, very much could. Yeah, I mean, you haven't done a cringe stock in a while, actually, Gorilla. You should think about that. I still nominate by the way, The Creeping Terror is still the film I recommend for cringe stock because it's really cringy.
Speaking of creeping terrors, Tom Hardy is in this movie.
I think Tom Hardy was actually pretty good in this.
Yes. What did I put in the chat?
What does Jean-Luc Picard look like as a young man? The answer?
Venom.
Blowing in the wind.
Venom.
It's just a little bit silly because we see his academy photo where he doesn't have any hair.
Which doesn't make sense. Yeah, true.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. I agree. I never said this movie was perfect. I mean, I do have criticisms.
There's an episode where we do see young
Yes, he
Picard
did have hair.
with hair. Which episode was that?
Oh,
was that the one where we got?
It was the one with Q. It was the one where he got stabbed in the heart and had to get a heart replacement.
That's
right.
true.
Not the name.
Yeah, that's where he got his artificial heart. And after that, yeah, that was.
But there's also
episode.
That's Tapestry.
Tapestry, yes.
But there's also a flashback episode where it is Picard and Beverly going to identify the body of Jack Crusher. And that shows a younger Patrick Stewart, like it's Patrick Stewart with a toupee, essentially. And it is, I forget the name of the episode though, but it's like 4th or 5th season, Next Generation.
Jeez, I forgot
and you get
that.
To see
I do remember that. I do remember that one, but the title escapes me as well.
Me as well.
Yeah, same here.
I don't
But
remember seeing that.
There's like a suitcase in it or something.
Gosh.
It's an interesting thing because watching this again, and I haven't seen this in a while, is that when Shinzon is sort of degenerating, I thought it would have been a really cool choice and more interesting if he had actually grown into Patrick Stewart. If we had met him and he degenerated, and the urgency was that finally we had two Patrick Stewarts against one another. I thought that would have been great. Of course, they didn't do that.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Actually, I agree with you, Scotty. That would have been very, very entertaining. Yeah, good thought. Good thought.
Yeah, that could have been interesting. So they almost chose Jude Law instead of Hardy, but they wanted somebody who was unknown, so they picked Hardy.
I think Hardy gave a solid performance. I mean, I think the problem with it was with the character, was with the writing more than his performance as an actor.
The writing was terrible and dull.
Yeah. Hardy was.
But I thought Tom Hardy, he gave his best shot. I thought he was subtle when he needed to be subtle. He was over the top a few times when the script called for it. But I found his performance engaging. You know.
I don't know. He just seemed like a cookie cutter villain. Like, I'm evil because I'm just, I was harmed by the Romulans, so now I want to destroy Earth.
Well, that's a trope. Yes, I agree with you there, Jill. I mean, it is a trope to have the villain that suffered horribly and went through hell, and he's bitter and he's angry and he's pissed off at the universe or whatever, right? Sure, I get that trope. But I still thought he played it with enough subtlety at least for me, it worked, is what I'm saying. But I do get your point, Jill. I totally do.
Okay. Well,
I can't disagree with it.
If he was abused by the Romulans, why does he want to destroy Earth?
Something against Picard is what I thought the film centered around. For some weird reason, even though he needed Picard, in a weird way, I think he resented Picard because Picard had the life he never could have had. And Picard had a great, a wonderful life, compared to his. And I think he had a huge amount of resentment against Picard. And I think that was the center of his being. I think that was the core that drove him to be what he was.
He does say, what is the echo as long as the voice exists? And
Yes.
And so his drive to eliminate Picard, and this is stupid, but like part of the reason that he needs Picard is because he needs a total blood transfusion because his cellular existence is breaking down.
Yes,
because he was designed. That's a whole other thing.
Well,
but,
that's
like he's angry. He's angry that he doesn't
science of some kind. Yeah.
He doesn't have individuality of his, like he is always going to be living in the shadow of Picard, and his purpose was to take Picard's place. And without that purpose being fulfilled, he's upset because now he has no reason to exist.
I think he feels. Sorry, Jill, go ahead.
So is that really just it? Like he doesn't think that he can exist while someone else shares his exact DNA. Like,
I think he feels inferior.
All right. Well, before I start showing the slides, I want to say
that'd be cool.
I want to say that I remembered that I reviewed this a long time ago, like over a year ago or somewhere, on Saturday Night Star Trek, just in the chat at the Cloburn Times channel. So I'm gonna give my overall review of the film from that.
Really?
I save all my reviews over there in my document.
Makes sense.
Oh my!
And so since I don't review this movie or anything, I'm just gonna give the whole review. Like it was just 3 parts. It's very short.
Should I cover my ears? Should I cover my ears?
No.
Go ahead.
No, I don't.
Here's
Let's go to memory lane at Jill.
Yeah.
Go for it, Jill.
Memory Alpha.
Yeah, this is F. So I gave it an F. Shinzon's plan to supplant the Romulan government, telling them he'll conquer Earth, and then they only back out when they realize he meant annihilation because they're sort of on his side, or sort of. I don't understand. It's confusing. The motivations are confusing in this movie. The Reman are presented as oppressed slaves who also somehow create a doomsday-like weapon system and starship. and that's only defeated when Troy invades the Viceroy's mind the way she was invaded before.
Oh my
And so I
stars.
just think
Keep
that's
going.
really stupid.
Oh yeah, I agree with you there.
Yes.
I agree with you there.
Just okay, so this is biggest one for me because I think Data was killed for no reason. Just Data could have beamed over, defeated Shinzon with his superior strength, overloaded the weapon, and beamed back. Then we would have no dead Data. And that was my review.
I
essentially.
don't
Good
I don't
review.
subscribe to your interpretation of this event.
I get
What?
Joel's point though. The end about Data, like that would have made logically that would have made much more sense for Data just to beam over instead of Picard.
Mhm.
But dramatically, sending Picard over to face his nemesis, literally, and having that final scene. I don't like to give spoilers in case somebody hasn't seen that final scene, but I thought the final scene was very dramatic, with Picard.
I think this movie's old enough that we can give spoilers.
Okay, well, when Sinjin, basically gets impaled, is what I'm, saying. That's a very dramatic moment for me.
Yes.
Because they're face to face. The literally the Nemesis. They're face to face, and Picard actually kind of goes into shock. It seems for a minute because Data has to kind of snap him out of it, basically, because and then of course the whole ending with Data, I think is kind of sweet and lovely actually, because Data sacrifices himself to save the crew and the ship, and it's like Pinocchio becomes a real boy at that moment, right? He's actually
I suppose like if you take
he's
the movie
human-like.
for its face value, I could see that, but this movie, obviously Brent Spiner took that from Wrath of Khan, but this would be like if at the end of Wrath of Khan, instead of just seeing the coffin on the Genesis planet, we got an inside view within the coffin and we saw a baby Spock in there. Like that's the end of the movie. So that's what this is.
Well, I think, we all have our own interpretation of things, right? And I think, a lot of people just, decide to look at this movie in a very negative light, and that's what they're going to see. I choose to think otherwise, and I look for the good aspects of the film, even though it is a very flawed film. I mean, I'm not arguing with anybody. I totally get.
Brogo says hello. Hello, Brogu.
Hey, Brogu.
Great to see you. Also, hello to Donnie. Donnie.
Hey,
so
more phenomenal.
Hey, Donnie.
And yeah, speaking of people who love to hear everybody's opinions and doesn't judge, that's Donnie.
So we are in the Romulan Senate where somehow Palpatine has returned. Or wait, no. Somehow there is there's a genetic ashtray that happens.
Well,
Everyone
okay,
is very upset.
This is the same weapon that's at the end of the movie, right? They don't really say it, but
yeah.
I guess
It
that's
works
the
as well
implication.
in one large chamber as it does in space.
I have a big problem with this scene.
We missed it, but I had a problem with the backwards letters.
Well, I
think. Oh yeah, no, that was stupid.
Yeah, that was kind of hokey.
I just find Romulan security must suck because you're in the Senate chamber, and somehow this Romulan woman can leave this device that's going to kill everybody in the room without being detected. There's no warning. There's no nothing. It's like, why would she leave something on the desk? That's a little suspicious in itself, I think, to leave some device just sitting there, and she just leaves, like apparently for no reason. And nobody asks, nobody raises an eyebrow. Nobody asks a question. Nobody says security. There's something happening.
It seems like it's kind of like leaving your keys.
I don't.
Hey,
like that
Guinan's
scene,
here.
No.
No.
There's Wesley.
This is one of the big things.
Wesley's there.
Why is Wesley there? That's my biggest question at the beginning of this movie. We're not even like 10 minutes in, and I'm like, aren't you a traveler?
The traveler said, I'm tired of your shit, Wesley.
Yeah, exactly.
Go back to Starfleet.
The traveler said, shut up, Wesley. Go to that damn wedding.
But there are deleted scenes with Will Wheaton, and he's talking about he's going to be an engineer on the Titan. I think he's going with Riker.
Oh, that's nice.
And Gorilla agrees with you. PvP, you're complaining about backwards letters when she brought a weapon of mass destruction into what should be the most secure building in the Empire. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I hadn't gotten
Exactly.
to that part
I
yet.
think that's
Everybody
a-
else covered it for me.
Was
think
it
it's a
was
very
it
dumb
Commander
scene.
was it Commander Denatra who does it? Or is it
Yeah.
just a random lady?
Oh no, it was a random lady.
It was
Oh.
it was just a random.
Yeah,
She
it
had a
wasn't
name,
No,
but
no, she
I
was
don't remember what it
she was
was.
just a
senator that wanted to overthrow the government with
Yeah.
the clone of Picard. Sounds good plan.
Yeah.
Good plan.
And
yeah,
she
really good plan.
And she could walk into the most important chamber in the Romulan Empire with a murder device, and there was no security screen, and no guard at the door going, "Hey, lady, what's this in your hand?"
Yeah, but
Oh,
I
I
should check
have her
this out.
name. Her
What's
name
her
is
name?
Tal Aura.
Oh, it's a lot, yeah.
Oh, okay.
nice. But see, that's the thing, is that you do get that conniving impression from Romulan senators, is that they're willing to overthrow the government based on their whims. They do say later on in the movie that you must have the support of the Romulan fleet to be able to perform this coup. And so she is obviously some sort of admiral or commander or something that would be in control. Anyway, she
obviously,
murders
though-
the entire Senate, and now we have orcs and
Yeah, no,
Maine.
that's another thing that
but-
doesn't make it. That's another thing that doesn't make any sense, Scotty. If the Romulan Empire is so expansive, just like the Federation, somehow an alliance with this one little dinky planet is somehow going to make them more powerful than the Federation. Why?
Well, the thing is, though,
Well, the thing is that you have the Tal Shiar was pretty much decimated by the Dominion.
Yes.
You have the Tal Shiar infiltrated by the Federation. So there is no security on Romulus.
Well, and also if you want to bring up, and I do, like,
Okay, you know
technically
what?
they
Fair
do.
enough.
There's B4, which we'll get to shortly.
Oh, God.
But that's an android that the Remans use to infiltrate the Enterprise. But I thought that Romulans didn't have any cyberneticists because of the Zhat Vash. They don't like androids because they're afraid that a space portal is going to open up and Dr. Octopus is going to
that's the
invade.
problem with New Trek, because they backtrack and they try to insert their own canon into things and then they just mess it all up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But in some ways, this movie kind of does that in some parts too.
Yes.
This wedding scene is supposed to remind us of all the years of watching Next Generation, celebrating Deanna and Riker. But
Nice gorilla.
yeah.
but like you guys were saying, my main joy in this scene is that I know that everything regarding Wesley Crusher, except for this screenshot, was taken out.
Yes.
The deleted scenes weren't deleted enough, says somebody in
Well,
the chat.
At least maybe they realized, like, maybe that's the one thing they got right, is like, maybe we shouldn't have too much Wesley in this movie because that's not going to help it.
Apparently, 17 minutes of deleted stuff was
Oh.
taken out of the movie.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
You know
17
what?
minutes I never need to watch. Excellent.
Subspace chatter in the chat says B4 called B9 in the first draft of the script. I would have preferred that.
But
No.
that's a direct copy of Lost in Space.
Oh, well,
maybe
I don't watch that.
Maybe it was a Lost in Space in joke, is what I'm guessing, Jill, that the writers threw in there, and then somebody noticed, and they were like, no, we can't have B9. That's just wrong.
Well, it sort of fits with the naming convention, and B4 is somewhat whimsical, but I like benign.
Yes.
Benign.
Oh, I love benign. Benign is great. Yeah.
That sounds like that is actually a better name for a better movie.
Well, yeah, it's called a TV series called Lost in Space. DJ Play Nice
Never
says,
heard of it.
I feel like Wesley's comic relief. He ruined so much like Scooby-Doo.
I think this entire sequence is comic
Scrappy-Doo.
relief.
Scrappy-Doo. Sorry, Scrappy-Doo. That makes more sense. He is like Scrappy-Doo.
This is one of my big hates of the film. Actually, I do have a few things that I don't like about it, and this whole wedding sequence is like cringe.
Oh, no.
Cringe.
One terrible part. Oh, goodness.
What was that?
I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
I think somebody was trying to beam Jill up for a second there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they were, but it wasn't anybody. It was just telemarketer, probably.
Oh no.
How do
But-
you feel? How do you feel,
How do you
about
feel about what?
this wedding sequence? Do you feel that people are in character?
Well, no, because Picard tells Data to shut up as if that's something unexpected. He's thinking this is a joke. But even though he doesn't exactly say those words during the series, he very often cuts Data off during the entirety of TNG. Like Data would be over explaining something, but in a fascinating way, and Picard would just cut him off, obviously because time. But
Mm-hmm.
this isn't a
My
Sorry, good joke.
my big question, my big irritation with this wedding scene is, now granted I don't know the time frame between insurrection and this, but I mean, come on, they just have one bathtub scene in insurrection, and oh, they're gonna get back together and they're gonna get married. I don't buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the. I'm. This is the 10th film, and so it feels like they're tying up loose ends. And I think the will they, won't they relationship between Troy and Riker that's what this scene is about. This feels like a finale.
But I don't think most fans give a damn about Troy and Riker at this point. Like
I do.
Well, I never did. I mean, I always thought it was kind of a boring subplot for the series, for me personally. But I kind of agree with King Dolphin. It's like, this is like fan service to me. This is just like, let's do some fan service, give them a wedding party, get Troy dressed up in a nice frilly, dress, and, everybody's happy and everybody's having a party. It's like fan service. Sorry, it didn't work.
Well, I think it was Loxana who got upset one time saying that Riker's the reason why Troy never got married. So I think it makes sense that they finally do. It's just I just don't. I do agree that there should have been more character development between their their relationship, getting back together and actually getting engaged.
It's just so weird that they bring back Wesley and Guinan for this marriage scene, and they don't bring back Majel Barrett to be Loaxana. Was
there a reason for that?
That might have given it some hope.
But the thing is that if Majel Barrett shows up as Loaxana, everybody is going to be like, "Oh, it's a Loaxana episode."
I wonder if there was a reason for that.
I don't know. I don't know. But the thing is,
usually your mom is at your wedding. I know that there was a second wedding where they're going to be naked.
They were going to go to bed instead. Yeah,
but
it's strange because even
Loxana would be at both.
I think so too, and especially any chance to see Jean-Luc. But the thing is that Majel Barrett does do the voice of the computer in Star Trek 2009, so she was still, kicking at this point. I don't know what her physical. Maybe she had retired from acting at that point. They didn't include. They asked, and she said, "I can't."
Maybe she was having health issues or something, Scotty. And,
could be.
Or maybe she passed on.
No, she was. But again,
she did die.
Yes, she did. But but that's why Star Trek 2009, she was still the computer voice.
Well, and she's still the computer in this movie too.
I have a question.
I got to say hello to Cam. He says, just popped in for a minute to say, drop a like. Have fun, everyone. Yeah, we definitely are having fun.
Aren't Betazoid weddings, isn't everybody supposed to be nude
naked
at the Betazoid wedding?
Correct. Naked.
So how come they're all wearing clothes?
This is a different ceremony.
This is on the Enterprise.
Yeah, where's Kyle Riker?
Shit. Yeah, I guess it's like a holodeck scenario, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Dr. Pulaski?
What? They're not really in Alaska?
There are going to be two weddings. You're going to have the Enterprise wedding and the Betazoid wedding.
Yeah, you'll hear a remark from.
Yes.
Not to spoil, you'll hear a remark from Picard about the Betazoid wedding in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess Worf is concerned or something, isn't he, about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his big concern.
I remember now. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll be in the gym.
Yes.
Yes, that's what Chrono says, Nick, and I need to work out.
Yeah,
Subspace
that
Chatter
would be
says
embarrassing.
it depends on what else was going on in Loxana's life. It may have been unavoidable for her to miss the Earth part.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I think
That's true.
probably there was something with her health. But if we can get a confirmation on that, it would be interesting. And of course, the whole thing with the Romulan ale in this scene. It's,
And like,
that it would have.
Is Romulan ale illegal at this point? I thought it wasn't.
It's not.
It is.
It was in the original series, but I thought that at this point in Next Generation, based on Deep Space Nine, that Romulan ale had been the restrictions on Romulan ale had been lifted according
because
to
of the war.
Yeah, and that is and Admiral Ross says so. It has been.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Is
in
this
Deep
the
Space
first-
Nine, he says so.
Can you go back to the previous still there, please? Is this the first trans movie?
What are you talking about?
Trans. Transgender.
Work's got a hangover like Scotty.
It's a transgendered line. I forgot that.
Oh, and transgender species. Yes.
Wow. Oh, a frightening premonition of things to come. Oh my.
Well, but they
Well,
addressed that.
this is just a fact,
Vistona.
though. This isn't something that's woke because it's just like transgender people exist, and that's all this says.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
the Janai.
It does.
That
have
was a Star Trek: The Next Generation episode.
Yeah,
The
the Janai.
Yeah, well, right, Janai. Of course, I forgot about them.
It makes sense. Automatic F because the women still have clothes on. Don't let the guys are nude.
Damn a gorilla.
Gorilla.
Everyone blames me
Oh,
for being dirty.
Here's to Majel. So Donnie wants
Yeah.
us to give a toast to Majel. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
The first
good
lady of the Star Trek, Majel
Yep.
Barrett. May you
Love her.
live long and prosper in whatever capacity you may do.
In our hearts.
Yes.
John Malama says, why do I really want Romulan ale?
Because it's tasty goodness.
And it gives you a bad hangover.
Blue Carousel. That's all you have to do.
Yeah,
Blue
that's how
Carousel.
that's so if that's Romulan ale, then I've had it.
There it is.
Blueberries.
But okay, so this is also never saw the sun shining so bright.
Irving Berlin.
Ugh.
I like this.
Well,
song.
I enjoy the song as well, and it is
Yeah.
the first song that they play at again. This being the season premiere of Star Trek Picard, this is the song that they play.
Oh my God, I'm gonna slap you.
Bing Crosby singing "Blue Skies" is how they start off the first episode of Picard.
Wait, and yeah, that was the only kind of positive thing in this movie I kind of like because I like hearing Brent Spiner sing, and so Star Trek Picard doing that for me.
This is significant at the end of the movie as well. Very
And
significant.
so it would be the best movie ever if Beverly slaps Wesley again.
It's a song that kind of, we get this early in the film, and then we get it ties up at the end of the film, which I thought was very sweet.
Well, you have to understand Data is my favorite character in The Next Generation. So separate from the entire plot and everything, I like him when he does things.
Oh my God!
Well,
yeah.
I'm looking at the band, and those symbols on that drum are grotesque. Green symbols. I'm a drummer. That's blasphemy.
What color are your symbols?
They're silver.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gold.
Okay. No, you're right.
What is the purpose for that?
No
They don't
reason.
say.
It's just silly. Those symbols are just kind of silly.
And
Yeah.
I've heard that they want to make future
Yeah,
symbols.
but that's a waste of special
Futuristic.
money.
Yeah,
Save it. Save the budget, guys. Just
Yeah.
get real symbols.
Yeah.
those are $900 symbols, Raymond.
Thousands.
I lowball. It was 2000.
It's space future, says Jamalama.
Yeah, Jamalama gets it.
Everything is silly here.
It's true.
They should do a series of.
Skies shining at me.
They should do a series with
Symbolism in the
Data
symbols.
doing a lounge act in Vegas, singing songs like "Blue Skies." That would be a show I would watch.
Well, and just for
With Vic Fontaine. With Vic Fontaine.
Oh, that would
That
be
would
so
be
good.
oh, that'd be awesome. They could do a duet together, like they could.
Mhm.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
guys, they do that at the Star Trek conventions.
Oh well.
They have him singing with a bunch of other people, and it's pretty
Too
good.
far away. I'll never get down there to go to.
Quick question. Now that we
Rat
have Mr.
Pack.
Worf on screen,
Mhm.
why
is he in this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is my question. What are you doing here except for the fact that we have to get the band back together? I thought that you were Worf last time I checked in with you.
It's fan service again.
Yeah, well, no, you
He's a
can't have a
diplomat,
Star Trek
right?
movie. Yeah, you're a diplomat. You're the
Yeah, but he
you're the
doesn't do
Federation
much.
envoy to Kronos.
He doesn't do a
Mhm.
hell of a lot in the movie, though, really, does he? When you think about it, it's like
No, he
Hey, Henry.
doesn't.
Oh,
I do always love seeing Michael Dorn, though. He's so good as Worf.
He is.
What the weather looks like now.
What's going on?
Seems
Are
like
there
everybody's
outside
having weather
conversations?
updates.
There is. That's why. Okay, I'm sure he won't mind that I meet him because it's an outside conversation.
Oh
but-
wow! I just looked at the
yeah.
temperature. It's at a record low. It doesn't even have a number. Usually, it's got a number at the bottom of my screen. Yikes!
Scotty,
Well,
how
I
can
am-
this be the series premiere of Star Trek P-Hard when the writers never saw this movie? Wesley is backing Starfleet in the film, but the Traveler again on TV, and they made a knockoff New Wesley.
Well, he goes back and forth.
Wait,
He was just visiting.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, why am I defending this shit?
but Will. Okay, so if you want to ask about Will Wheaton being a traveler in Star Trek Picard
Oh,
season
Lord.
2, that didn't make any sense either. I'm just saying that this is where the ship starts to fall apart. I think that it is Star Trek Nemesis where things go like I am of a mind where Star Trek Nemesis is not as good as Picard season 3. That is my perception of this situation. And I think
And-
this movie is
and
so awful. It is an abomination.
I disagree.
Well, hang on a second. Wait until we get to the dune buggy, my dude.
I love the dune buggy scene.
I love that.
Then
No,
you're
this
wrong, and I
movie is
accept your
bad, but-
apology.
This just makes everybody look stupid. Star Trek Picard made everybody look evil, so that's the difference.
Yes,
I will take
agree.
evil. I will take evil over stupid.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't think evil and the Federation should coexist. I think
They
Federation
don't.
it should
Picard
be a force,
season-
positive force, not an evil force.
Tyron
Season 3 is about
Lethbridge
conquering that evil.
says, "Hey there, folks. Good to see you all."
Hey, Tyrant.
Yeah, on both sides, Federation, Starfleet, and the villains. Like, why do they
You know
even
what you
need
need?
villains?
You need some Cisco up in your hizzle.
My.
Sure would help.
He is the Cisco after all.
My dad calls Trek aliens forehead aliens.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Oh, even Shinzong has prosthetics on in this movie just to look more like Picard.
Does he do like no, really?
Really?
What does he have on?
I don't remember. Let me see if my notes have it.
Like he doesn't have a nose. Although I did appreciate the way that he looked. And I appreciated the plot
Yes.
explanation. It's like, oh, they broke my nose, my jaw. So he's not looking exactly the same way as Patrick Stewart would have at that time. The bald head in the flashback video or picture that he has doesn't make any sense. But I think that if you're going to cast a young Patrick Stewart, I think that Tom Hardy does a good job.
Okay, so they used different versions of noses and chins in order to reduce the visible size of Hardy's lips, and a fake scar was added to
Yes.
distract from his cheeks.
I did think his lips were too big, and I'm talking about a white man, so it's not racist.
Let's see. Although, yep. And so let me continue these slides. Where was I in my notes? I was looking for that prosthetics got me off my notes. So I gotta
No, fair enough. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Do you mind?
I
Do you
have
mind
these
if I
separated.
excuse myself before the dune buggy chase? I'm gonna have a cigarette.
All
to,
right,
you know,
I'll make
thank-
sure to pause it before we get to the planet.
Thank you. I'll be back in 4 minutes.
So the people ultimately responsible for scripting this film are John Logan, with storyboard credits given to John Logan, Rick Berman, and Brent Spiner, because of course Brent Spiner wrote in his own death for his character. Which is good because I didn't mention that earlier. And if you like Brent Spiner singing, he has a 1991 album called Old Yellow Eyes Is Back.
I would guess that's Elma standards, so to speak, Joe. Classic songs like Blue Skies.
Oh, probably. I have no idea. I actually haven't. I have never listened to it.
I should do a standards playlist. Actually, gee, on my music channel. Wow,
yeah, give it to us.
Fun. Some Sinatra. Some.
Oh crap!
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta stop it here.
Oh, the Dune buggy.
I love this scene.
I don't, but let's wait because Scott wants to talk about it.
Go ahead, Scott.
He's not here yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
So they're here because they see some positronic signatures on Colaris 3, and so that's supposed to mean another android. But my question for that is, did the Romulans amplify the positronic signatures, or is Data always traveling around the galaxy with everyone knowing precisely where he is?
I don't know. He may have a transponder, maybe IFF.
Oh, a transponder. That's what it was. It was a transponder. Okay, thank you. I forgot about that. Okay, thanks for answering my question.
Yeah, I had to take care of some. I had to step away, take care of some pilot stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I know you probably don't mind that I muted you, because I could hear the pilot stuff.
Oh, stop. Thank you.
But that's okay. You're welcome.
I always
Oh, go ahead, King. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just get
no,
too
that's
enthusiastic.
I always forget to mute the other side. StreamYard's side.
Yeah, so Gorilla has a problem that the positronic signal is able to reach out even though he's deactivated, but actually the parts are just disassembled. They didn't actually deactivate him. He was still activated because he was grabbing at Worf's leg and wiggling his fingers and stuff.
Well, they must all of Soon's androids must have something, because Soon was able to call the two of them together from light years away.
That's true. Yeah, and that's fair enough. So that is a good, but of course nobody makes the connection that nobody says lore. Like the first thing you think of when there's another android is this lore.
Yeah.
Not
mentioned. Interesting if they said it was lore. That would have been kind of interesting.
Yeah, and then they were proved wrong. Oh, this isn't lore after all.
Yeah, but lore was taken apart in the next generation.
Right. Data deactivates him and he gets assembled.
Disassemble.
Jill with the Cisco up in her hizzle. Oh my.
Oh, what did I miss the Cisco thing?
I don't know. Well,
I think Scotty made a Cisco sizzle joke.
Scotty said we needed Cisco, and I don't know what he was talking about, but I agree. We always need Cisco.
Yes, we do.
By the way, Jill, I just want to mention you did Nemesis like a year ago on your channel, did you not? Because I remember being there for that.
I've never. If we talked about this movie, it was in passing.
I remember watching it like a year and a half ago, because specifically, I think because we were going to have some talk about it. Maybe it was like on a shore leave or something, a passing kind of.
Not for my channel. Are you sure you're not talking about when you were on Saturday Night Star Trek in the chat?
No, because I watched the entire film because we were going to review it, and I thought it was you. Gosh.
If it was me, then I canceled that review because I never did that.
Because I really thought, gosh,
it's the mirror version, Jill.
Yeah,
must have been. Gosh, I'm really kind of mystified now, because I wasn't planning on watching it, but I did specifically because there was going to be a discussion about it. I guess it must have been some other live stream. But I watched it. I just wanted to. The reason I brought that up is the first time I watched this film, I didn't really get into it in a big way. I thought it was okay, but I didn't really like enjoy it in any, meaningful sense. But when I rewatched it last night, I actually really got into it. I don't know why. I just had fun with it.
Donnie loves the spaceship along with you, PvP.
I believe that the Argo is one of the worst things to ever happen to Star Trek.
I love the Argo.
Why?
I disagree with the idea of a car chase in Star Trek. In the same way when like just everything about this is flying in the face of the Prime Directive. It's flying like you have transporters and shuttles, but you need a 4-wheel drive recreational vehicle. This is, and it's got a cannon on the back of it.
Yeah, but Picard just wants to take his souped up golf cart out.
I understand. I understand the motivation. I just don't understand why Federation scientists actually designed this antique.
Scotty, can you not see Picard and Data going out on a golf course on some planet? In the little golf cart buggy here, and of course Data would be the caddy, and he'd be carrying Picard's clubs, and that would be awesome. I mean, I would love to see a couple minutes of that. That would be funny.
They know exactly where all of the parts of B4 are. They have found the positronic signal. They can transport. They can use, transporters.
Right. Yes, Scotty, that's what I was thinking, because even though there's an ion storm, they just bring in the shuttlecraft in a way to make sure that the people on the planet can't track them if they've got radar or whatever. And they can just transport the pieces of B4.
You guys make good sense. Completely. I mean, totally, Scotty and Jill, you guys totally got it logically. I agree with what you're saying. It's just that I don't overanalyze a film like this. I just kind of go with it to have fun. So I maybe don't take it quite as seriously as you guys are. I don't know.
But that's
analyze.
Sorry. Like that's part of the reason why
that's why I enjoy it.
When people look at new Trek,
I love that.
And they say this wouldn't work. I'm one of the people who look at new Trek and I say this doesn't make sense. I don't appreciate that. I don't like that. This is the lightning rod of this entire movie where I'm like, this isn't even a Star Trek movie anymore. I remember sitting in the theater being like, this is not a Star Trek movie. This is an action movie.
It's not.
It's a vanity project.
Really, it is still made when real Star Trek is being made, so it gets a pass for it. But it isn't. There's very little to do with Star Trek other than the actual characters being in it.
People talk about Picard, and it's like,
that's not Star Trek either.
Picard isn't Picard
it's
in Picard for multiple reasons, but
good reasons.
This is certainly. I don't see Jean-Luc Picard when I'm looking at Patrick Stewart in this film. I see Patrick Stewart. I see this as being egos run amok, and also
I see Picard.
I do not, and also. I don't and that's cool, yo. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I love hearing what you guys are saying about this. I mean, I totally understand everything you're saying, Scotty. It makes perfect sense. I just have a different view of the film,
Sure.
Yeah.
One of the things that I always want when I see Data is a reference to Tasha, because I do believe that Tasha Yar is the love of Data's life. And whenever it doesn't show up, I get upset by that omission. And now
that's true.
When we see B4, there is nary a reference to lore. And what I want, like even in Time's Arrow, when they find Data's head in San Francisco, they say, could it be lore? And Data says, no, it can't, because he has a type L positronic matrix. I have a type R positronic matrix. They don't even reference the possibility that this could be lore.
It's a missed opportunity. I agree.
It makes me upset. It makes me upset.
Oh yeah, it's just a flaw
But-
in the writing.
But
Me
there,
too.
well, but you know, Scotty, the only thing is that Lore, unless Lore was spaced after Data took him apart, he's probably in some Starfleet laboratory in PC.
And absolutely agreed.
So, but yeah, that's a good
So
point.
it's very, it's very possible here that they didn't refer to Lore because they know where Lore is in a garbage dump in a Starfleet laboratory.
And that is true, and you're absolutely logically correct, sir. However, I just want a reference.
Yeah, right. It would just
them...
take one sentence to say, "Oh, Lore's over there."
Is it Lore? No, we're done.
It would have been a nice touch. I have to agree with what Scott is saying. Yeah.
So our progression is. Oh, go
Worf
ahead.
actually got to do something there. He got to shoot the cannon.
Yes, at the pre-warp civilization that no one has ever encountered before, but let's shoot at them because we're
they're not
Starfleet.
really very friendly.
Didn't they look like Remans if
they did
close enough?
They did.
Were they Remans?
No.
This movie doesn't explain anything.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Let's keep going though, because I do. You know what? I do enjoy. And I want to, again, trying to soften my pointy elbows. I do enjoy the Argo jumping into the shuttlecraft.
That's almost like a Thelma and Louise thing there.
Yes, but with more success.
Yes, much more success. Thelma and Louise didn't have a shuttlecraft though, so they were out of luck.
Yeah.
The first time I watched this movie, that scene was cringeworthy to me. I just like, what the? But actually watching it again the other day, I actually kind of enjoyed it. Just like, I just went with it, and it was fun. I don't know,
Can you go back, Joe?
Sure.
Back to the.
Is not Brian here?
What do you want me to go back to?
Go back to that one picture of the alien.
Yeah, those are not Ramans or Remans. That's a different type of race.
No. Okay, past this one. Yeah, that's a Reman.
Oh, the alien makeup?
Yeah.
Now you're going back too far. Gotta go forward.
Is that a Reman? We got to look at the ears. We got to find the ears.
Okay, unsafe velocities, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. See, even you, a fan of this, is saying blah, blah, blah.
I think they stole that buggy jump from Firefly, says Ariba Vel.
Oh, it's been a while since I've watched Firefly, but I don't remember rather be watching Firefly than this.
I don't think
that sounds like a jump. I want to talk about that sometime. It's not that much. There's not that much Firefly to go through.
Only one season,
like 16 episodes, half
yeah,
season.
If we did 2 episodes a podcast, we'd get through it pretty quick.
There's only like 16 of them or something.
We could probably do it all in one go.
Oh God, that would be wow. That'd be a long stream.
We could. That would be like a marathon. We'd have to start like at 10 a.m.
I'd love to do Firefly though. That's a great show. I love Firefly.
Jama Lama wants that buggy.
Well, I think this buggy.
We're watching it twice
terrible.
again. Why are we doing this? Oh,
it's
because
awful.
Raymond
I don't know.
Alien.
And what PvP is saying is that, and again, it is something like this is fun.
It is. It's goofy. It's silly. It might not make any damn sense, and I get all of that. But I just had fun watching it the other night. It was like, I like this movie.
Chronos says tablet power, remote controls.
It's very flawed.
Right there,
right
there.
Okay,
there you go.
There you go.
That's a Raymond.
That's not a Reman.
That's a Raymond.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that they so they put B4 on this planet and Remans are protecting it and they are going to attack Picard and the away team who decided to bring a recreational vehicle because they don't want B4 to be found.
No,
but
it's all part of the
isn't wait, I'm not yet. If B4 is not found, then Shinzon doesn't have his infiltration android.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't make any sense for these to be Remans because they should be on Shin's on side.
They should
Yeah,
be
Or
they
they-
should be fighting against other native populations to attempt to make sure that B4 is found because Shinzon needs the infiltration device that is B4.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
not sure. I'm not-
But these could be. See, I am. You know my writing, so you know I could see plots among schemes.
Certainly.
And I could see that these Raymans, yeah, they blast Picard and stuff, but the way he's just looking, it's like, yes, they got him, we got them, score.
And Remans cannot stand bright lights either.
Yeah,
but Remans are an offshoot of Vulcans, which means that they have an inner
Right.
eyelid.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a Raymond. I'm not convinced by this.
Not
still.
with those teeth, no.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, you know what, Scotty? That makes too much sense. You're bringing too much logic and intelligence to
Oh,
this.
I'm sorry for discussing Star Trek with Star Trek
Yeah.
people.
What?
No, I thought that was
Did-
amazing. No,
did Jill-
because I was being
did-
sarcastic. I'm
did-
very
did Jill
happy that
just-
you mentioned it.
Did Jill just state that there's too much logic in Star Trek?
That's
Mhm.
right.
No,
That
no,
is
it's
what
Never
she
thought
did.
I would
argument.
hear that
Oh,
sentence in my
my.
entire life.
I was surprised myself.
I was
Oh,
just
no.
kidding. I
Your
was kidding.
your statement was illogical, Jill.
Okay, okay. Well,
Let's
that's
move on.
my
Yes,
mistake
let's
for
move
trying to make
on.
a joke.
Let's get off this planet.
I get
No,
your
I'm
joke.
not trying.
I'm just
Why-
teasing you.
TVP, I'm trying to explain myself, and you just keep going. What the freaking hell?
What the
I'm just
fuck?
I'm really happy that Scotty mentioned the eyelids because it makes no sense why. I mean, I know that they live in a dark world, but they still have the evolutionary. They should still have the evolutionary kind of
Vulcan trait.
developments, and they should still have that eyelid, the double eyelid. So they shouldn't have a problem with light, even though they're not in it.
Well, and that is something in this movie that I think that is overpowering. Is it looks cool, and it's something that happens in the JJ movies. Is like it doesn't matter if it makes sense. We just want to make it look cool, and that's what Stuart Baird, the director of this particular film, a British ponce. I don't know what ponce means, but I know it sounds derogatory towards the British. And I think that, well, whatever, who cares? I think that he sucks at directing this. I don't know who wrote it. I think it was John Logan, and I just don't understand the construction of
John
this
Logan.
film.
Actually, the story was by John Logan with Rick Berman and Brent Spiner. If you can, believe
Yeah,
it.
Vanity
And the
Project.
The screenplay was just by John
Oh,
Logan.
the thing that breaks my heart the most about this is that they could have had Nicholas Meyer, but Nicholas Meyer said, I gotta rewrite this thing if I'm gonna do this. And they said no.
It's too
Yeah.
bad
So
they
we didn't
didn't
get it.
have him rewrite it because it might have been a good film.
Oh, I would much rather talk about the Nicholas Meyer directed Star Trek Nemesis. It would have been beautiful.
It might have been great. Yeah. It's a missed opportunity that we'll never know, I guess.
Exactly. If in a better universe, in a better timeline, we would have had a Nicholas Meyer Star Trek The Next Generation movie, which is very intriguing. However,
yes,
I would like to advertise and question. Have you guys ever heard the album Old Yellow Eyes Is Back by Brent Spiner?
I've
Never
not heard
heard
it.
it, but heard of it.
I've
I
heard of it.
mentioned
I
it
haven't
earlier,
heard.
but I haven't listened to it.
Neither have I. Oh my stars! I'm gonna have to send you a vinyl.
I have to
Yeah.
listen to
Well,
it.
then I'm gonna have to buy a record player.
So I'll send you a CD.
There you go. Brinklewalker says
Send her a
Jill is
link.
part Vulcan, part Romulan.
Oh yeah, the full
Yeah.
album is available on YouTube. I don't even have to
Right.
send physical things.
I
Yeah, that's
know.
probably where I'll listen to it.
It was just a thing to say. Susan Dolan says Real Trek was always socially conscious. It presented a predicament or problem and asked the audience to think about it and come up with a solution. Woke Trek forces propaganda. And you know what? This movie does neither.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's not, doing the woke propaganda thing at this point. Thank goodness.
Well,
It's a
Sure enough.
popcorn movie, basically. It's like I don't watch this to think. I watch this just to to watch it, and I have a bit of
But
fun.
I want to see the people that I love, and these people are not the ones that I love.
I agree.
Okay,
These are actors. It's not the characters.
This is a great
looking
question.
at LeVar Burton.
Does anybody know the answer to this question? Because I don't know what the hell a Reman is. Are Remans related to Vulcans? They're slaves of the Romulans, but are they native to Remus? Also, they're not.
Good question.
I think they're. I don't know.
Remans are related to Romulans because that's where they are.
They're in the same
Romulus
system,
and Romulus and Remus
Romulus
is
and
where
Remus.
it comes from. So they must be related to Romulans in some
Yes,
way,
yeah.
I'm guessing.
Well,
They're like an off-breed.
They're like an underclass, maybe, of the Romulan Empire, I'm guessing.
Raymond.
Yes, sir.
So my understanding of the Romulan Empire is that they are Vulcans.
They are Vulcans, yes.
And they left Vulcan at the time of Surak because they were not on board.
Many generations ago, yes.
Yeah, not to spoil Enterprise, but yes, that is correct.
They were not on board with the whole logic thing.
Exactly.
If I remember. Yeah.
And so they go and they find they colonize Romulus.
Right.
But also, as established in the original series, The Balance of Terror, they talk about Romulus and Remus. And so I'm curious as to so those Vulcans get to Romulus, and then they also colonize Remus.
Yes.
But Remus, based on this explanation from this film, is that it's an orbiting planet.
Yeah, it's a perpetually dark planet.
Yeah, one side.
Yeah.
One side of it.
That tells me that Seth MacFarlane kind of probably likes this movie because that sounds a lot like the Mocklins, except they did the dark planet thing to themselves with their smog.
Yeah,
that makes sense though. That the Remans would have,
but I don't know
populated Remus, and maybe that being a more inhospitable kind of planet.
I would lean to them being an offshoot. Possibly since, and I'm going to spoil Enterprise. Sorry, Raquel.
No, go ahead.
There was a nuclear war just before the Vulcans left, or the Romulans left. So they could have been irradiated by the war, and the survivors decided to shove them off onto the other planet, or they could be.
That's an interesting.
Do you think
idea.
that they unloaded their unwanted onto
Remus? Toss the trash onto Remus. That would be my thought.
That's a great idea.
Like Australia?
Actually. Wow.
Yeah.
Australia.
And here's the thing on Enterprise.
Australia is not Remus. Anyway, move on.
No, I don't mean to say that Australia is Remus, but they put
just a bunch of war pigs over in Australia.
No, they put prisoners on Australia, and then they made it into a country.
And
it's true. It's true.
And you see a Reman on Enterprise as well.
Really? What episode?
The one.
Must miss that one.
I think it's the one with the Anar.
I just want to apologize to all of Australia. I realized there were natives on Australia before the prisoners got there.
Well, also you got to give creds to the Aussies because they might have all been, the settlers that were all criminals. But look at the society they built. I mean, they had nothing, and then they built up a pretty cool country.
Yeah, right. They didn't just say, "Hey, we were left alone. We're gonna become evil villains," and like the Remans did.
Yeah,
they became a great country. Like cool. Folks.
I don't know. I've been.
There's actually an Aussie in my building. I talk to regular, and he's a really nice guy.
So that's my thought.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
That is a very interesting idea.
hear-
Subspace Chatter says it has not been confirmed on screen whether Remans were an offshoot of the Romulans or Vulcans or if they are a completely separate species.
True, and they
Yeah,
do
that's
look
true.
like monsters.
You know,
Certain Reman features, for example, their telepathic abilities, pointed ears, and forehead patterns are in agreement with the genetic relation to the Romulans and Vulcans.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
just saw
Good
And
point.
it's a tactile. Evidently, it's a tactile.
Oh no, it's
telepathy.
not. Not all the time. Sometimes you can use a Federation console as a Ouija board.
True. Yeah, but that was Deanna's telepathy.
Yeah. Well, and she's not even telepathic.
That's
She's
true.
empathic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
another
none of
problem.
none of this
No,
movie
but
makes
you know,
any
that's a
darn
whole
bone
problem with
sense.
all of TNG is that they kind of they're never very clear on what Troy's powers are. They say she's not telepathic, and then one day she loses her powers, and then she gets her powers back. It just depends on what the plot wants her to be able to do.
Well,
Well,
next to Wesley, I always thought Troy was the most boring character in the whole series. Like generally, I just didn't know why she even was in the show because she didn't do much a lot of the time, really.
I am a fan of Deanna Troy. I'm a big fan of Deanna
I'm not.
Troy. But and that comes from my appreciation for William Riker. And so
I like Riker.
Yeah, well, it's his wife, yo.
Yeah,
and
but
so I
don't
do
have to like his
appreciate
wife.
and I enjoy the fact that she is similarly to Spock. She is a woman of two worlds. She's half human and
half Betazoid.
I enjoy and half Betazoid, but I do enjoy her character, and I've always been a fan of Deanna Troy.
I'm not saying she doesn't have interesting qualities. It's just I don't think she was ever. The writers never. Most of the episodes, she was kind of in the background, and I don't think they did as much with her character as they could have. So maybe that's the problem I have with it, Scotty.
Well, and I do, and not to dismiss, but just to carry forward, I do enjoy this interaction between Beverly and B4.
Yeah. Okay. You are moving on. So, but I was hoping that it was going to end so that I could cap that off by saying that Troy, the way they could have fixed it was to have her work with I don't like the whole thing in general, but work with the Vulcan, like there's a Vulcan on the ship or something.
Dr.
And
Solar?
actually work with someone who, there you go. Thanks for finding one for me. Who could actually do a real mind
That's
meld.
racist.
If Joe's going to wrap that
You know
up,
what?
Why is that racist? Because
it's just one of those. No, it's one of those things. It's like I want a science officer, and he better be Vulcan. Okay, diversity hire.
I just
wanted somebody who's actually telepathic to be able to do the thing that Troy shouldn't be able to do.
I just want to mention though, King Dolphin. I really like King Dolphin's comment about the Remans. Like, I hadn't thought about that aspect, but it makes a lot of sense. What King Dolphin said there a few minutes ago, and it's like, that's one thing about this film. It's like it might not be a good, really good movie, but it does stimulate some thought, right? Because we're having a pretty damn interesting conversation centered around this film today, and I I'm learning some things. And I mean, even if people think it's an awful movie, it's stimulating our brain cells, right?
One of the things that I really enjoy about this particular slide, this image, is that Crusher is a cyberneticist. She is probably the most qualified person on the Enterprise to interact with data. She knows where the off button is. She is but like if you look at data lore, season 1, Crusher knows data intimately.
What was that, Raymond?
I said I thought Geordi was the expert.
Yeah, I thought Geordi was the expert too. Where's she? She's a cyberneticist. Which episode was that?
Data lore. Season 1.
Okay, thank you.
She knows more about data than you know what. And now that you mention it, okay, Geordi and Beverly are the experts.
Okay.
They both know the
Well, this is I think you just want. Oh man, I didn't mean to do that. I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't
this
want to
is
watch
the-
that again.
Deja
ever.
vu.
I'm glad that was just
I think you're just highlighting this because this is pretty much the last thing we see from her. In this
Yeah,
entire
she's
movie.
not in this movie at all.
Yeah, she
It's
did
the
she
same
didn't
deal
have
as
much.
Worf.
Yeah.
Worf is on set, Michael Dorn wakes up every morning in this production, and it's 4 a.m. so that they can put on his Klingon makeup, and then he sits in his trailer, and they're say, "Thank you, Michael. We don't need you today."
Well, as long as he got paid,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure he would rather be playing Grand Theft Auto.
Hey,
He
Kronos.
probably was in his trailer, Scotty.
Kronos
I
says
hope
I'm
so.
passing out. Do I sound like I'm passing out?
Oh,
understand.
passing
No,
out.
you sound
What?
very energetic.
Yeah.
I
You sound
do
like your
enjoy
usual-
this.
You sound like your usual charming self to me, Joe. I don't know.
Mhm.
And this is something that if you
Oh,
go
this is
back
cool.
one, if you go back one, I do enjoy that the old jumpsuits, like just you're not an officer or you are, and you're wearing the jumpsuit and it's just like a smock.
Mhm.
And that is what B4 gets to wear. And they do highlight that costume with the background players in this film, or the crewmen, if you would like to stay in universe. I think it's really like the production is fantastic. This movie, if you turn off the sound, looks great.
Well, wait. Can we turn off just the dialogue and just get the soundtrack and look at it?
Who wrote the music for this film?
Jerry
Do you know?
Goldsmith. It was his last.
It was
work.
and that's
Yeah,
so
it was
unfortunate
Jerry
because I
Goldsmith.
don't like it.
Yeah, sorry. I think it's all right.
Well, I hope you rest peacefully, Mr. Goldsmith.
No.
I don't
That's
know.
not
I'll have to
cool.
listen to it on.
Yeah,
Hey,
Jerry
and then-
gave us a lot of great music. Don't
No,
diss him
he
in the
did. He
afterlife.
was a fantastic
Yeah,
composer,
right,
and
right,
I don't
right.
mean
I
to be
love Jerry
rude.
Goldsmith's music.
Exactly. You better not.
I
be
am
rude
being rude. I'm
because
being
he
rude.
did the soundtrack for the motion picture also.
True. But he does this particular, I think the score to this film is
Well-
also rather, it's like a dial tone.
Well, maybe Jerry was in ill health when he wrote it. Who knows? Because it
I
was
don't know.
his
I
last,
think it was okay.
his
It was
last
the only
output.
thing.
So
It was the only
Do you like
thing
it?
I had. Matt
Do you
G.
like
I didn't mind it.
I didn't
I
love
didn't
it.
mind it.
I thought it was like, oh, okay, there you have the right sounds now and
I
then.
thought it did what it needed to do. I mean, maybe it wasn't exceptional, but I thought it was a decent score.
So Matt G says, check out Jill's channel memberships. And I want to say hello to Matt G
Yay.
or Taylor Swift, greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU.
I don't
Hey,
know.
Oh,
Matt
you're
G.
here.
/ Taylor.
I haven't the slightest idea, but I keep getting gifted memberships. And so I would like to thank all of the benefactors in my life.
Yeah, me too. I just got one from Pop.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
And-
Wait, what pop? What pop?
Pop culture.
Pop culture?
He's not here.
Think. No, he's not modded.
He's not is he monetized?
Not as far as I know.
I don't think
I got
he's
a
monetized.
another
it
clobbering
says-
times.
Says pop culture. Unleashed.
Oh,
What's that?
Unleashed, not pop culture curator. Okay.
That's a different pop culture then.
That's a different one than I was thinking of. Never mind. So
never
this
mind.
movie has one of the biggest failures that I think that season 7 has baked into it, which is, hey, here's a long lost family member you've never seen
Yeah.
before, which has
Yeah.
totally existed this whole time. If B4 was a thing, why didn't Data's mom know about him?
Ooh.
Data had a mom.
Oh my God. I haven't watched that episode in forever. We
Yeah.
should watch Data's mom episode.
Data's mom.
Okay. Sounds
I
good.
must have missed something.
Juliana
And-
Tainer.
Speaking
I
of
never-
people who get free memberships, hello to Captain Infinity.
Hey,
I know
Finity.
Data had a daddy,
Hey,
but I didn't
Finity.
know he had a mom.
Yeah, no, she ended up dying and they made a robot. Spoilers for that.
Shit, I must have missed that episode somehow. Damn.
No swearing. Anyway, I do.
oh.
Oh, wait, hang on. We have a clip for this, and I have to apologize
do?
for. We do. We have a clip for this, and I have to apologize. But I'm gonna do it with the clip.
John Malama says Data has a mom. Yes, Juliana. Soon.
I missed that somehow.
Ain't it?
Damn.
It's just one episode.
It is.
Yeah, but it still bothers me that I missed it somehow. And
It's season 7.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out. Don't worry, you're invited.
Gosh.
Anyway, if I may.
Oh, okay. Yes, Scotty's excusing himself for that.
Alrighty then.
This is the point where I expect my crew to behave like scientists, but they don't. This is where Jody should stop and say, "Hey, let's see what's on this android before."
I don't think V4 had a whole lot going on in his brain though, because he seemed like he was pretty backwards.
Yeah, they added extra memory onto him. If they would have downloaded everything that was on him, then they would have found something fishy.
They probably would have found more standard songs. Good point though, Jill. I can't argue. See, I can't argue
because
with the criticisms because I acknowledge them.
At the very least, they would have said, "You know what happened the last time we reassembled a Sing android?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Good point.
So there you go.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and so if in case you were worried about the second wedding event, you don't have to, because now they're redirected to Romulus. So we get Admiral Janeway.
Oh no.
She's returned from the Delta Quadrant, and somehow she's an admiral now.
Yeah, how'd you get Admiral?
I'm not a Janeway fan.
Boy,
Never have been, never will be.
She got promoted to Admiral because she brought her crew back home from being away for how many years? I forget. 10 years, 15 years, something like that.
Congratulations, you didn't die. Here's
I suppose that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
Get promoted.
I still don't like Janeway though.
I like Franco Walker's comment. She's safer behind the desk.
Oh, you know what? That's a great point. I am swayed. Like, look at everything Janeway did. Should we court-martial her? No, it's fine. Just put
Let's
her
give her an admiral.
Yeah, Janeway lost one of our starships for 10 years, but hey, let's reward her anyway. What the hell?
Yeah, so that is a really good point. Some people are less of a liability on desk duty. Janeway becomes admiral. Star Trek goes darker. Admiral. Yeah. Gavin Blackburn. I don't know. I got rid of some of my con stuff. Because StreamYard only lets you have 100 videos. Otherwise, I'd have everything here. Captain Infinity says, I should be getting paid for showing up in the chat. That's funny.
Hey, if you're going to get paid for showing up in the chat, the panel members should definitely get paid.
Yeah, really.
As we do contribute quite a bit, I would, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, the astrometrics room. I guess it looks pretty cool.
It does look cool.
Yeah. I do like that.
See, this movie does have some good points, Jill. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, they already had this room in the before, so.
Enterprise D.
Just another one of my lame jokes, just ignore me.
No, I don't want to ignore you. Or if I wanted to ignore you, I'd drop you from the panel.
Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, God, I better shut up. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to curse
No,
again.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Me, oh, my.
Now I'm joking.
You were going to mention something about the room?
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but they are learning that the temperatures. Okay, so they're learning about Remus, which we already talked about earlier. Remus is always facing the sun. It's landlocked or space locked or something. So all the inhabitants live on the dark side of the planet, or orbited. Oh, what is it? Hold on, just a moment.
Oh, so they're basically miners and they build weapons. It sounds like
They do say that. They
Right.
do
Yeah, they-
say that it's dilithium mining and heavy weapons construction.
that explains
Right.
the weaponry. Then that explains the
Exactly.
the ship. Yeah.
Mhm.
They have the tools and they have the weapons, but when did they get the education and the know-how to build a complex starship? Because that's a lot of there's a lot of professions besides just mining and making weapons.
No, the thing is
that
though,
go into creating-
if they're building
to
heavy
creating
weapons, I mean,
starship.
if they're constructing heavy weapons, they might have the knowledge to build a starship. It's not totally implausible.
Well, and let's not forget that they are a slave race.
Right.
That doesn't mean they don't have intelligence, though.
Oh
I'm
no,
not
I'm
saying
not
they
saying
don't have intelligence. I'm saying where did I guess maybe they have access to
at the
all of-
behest of the Romulan government.
I think
Has
they
to
still
be.
could have built a scimitar. I mean,
Like-
I don't find it completely unbelievable.
it's just not a very well built world. Like, do they have schools and what's going
Well,
on?
we
What's their
don't-
society like? I
That's a
don't
good
know.
never- well,
question.
We're not going to get a lot of backstory about an entire
No.
world in one movie, are we? Though?
Yeah.
I mean, to
Oh
be fair,
well,
you know.
and I would.
Well, all
I
they
would-
show are minds. We don't get any we don't get cities or anything.
Okay.
I wish
When-
they'd got some backstory previously in the Next Generation series. Like that could have been awesome. But once again,
Well-
a missed opportunity, right?
But this is the establishment of something that had been established. Look, this is the establishment of something that has been established in
Nice.
Balance of Terror. Is that there is Romulus and Remus,
Yes.
and this is the first time that we get to find out about Remus.
And I appreciate that we actually do, because they could have just totally bypassed this whole subplot, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I appreciate that they even put it in the damn film, really, you know.
Does
It
anybody
is-
know this song?
I spent the last 10 years Rocky Mountain Janeway. Couldn't get much higher out to pasture.
I know
Think
that
it's safe
song
to
quite
say
well.
time to open fire.
It's called Rocky Mountain Way, the real song, but that's pretty funny.
Thank you, Teatime. It's just
Yeah.
it's
So where is this? What room are we in?
I'm
Looks
not
like
sure.
looks like either the bridge or a
It's
briefing.
just a meeting
Oh,
room.
briefing
It's
room.
just a briefing
Briefing
room.
room.
Yeah,
Conference
Yeah,
room.
it's the
yeah.
briefing room. We've seen
Go
this
back
in the
one?
series. It's a
they
little
have
different here, but-
good graphics and stuff sometimes.
Mhm.
and stuff
Why
like
are
that.
there 9 models?
9 models?
Yeah, if
Of
you look in the
ships?
background, the little ships.
You broke your little ships.
You
Yeah,
broke
remember
your
he
little
broke 'em.
ships. Why are there 9?
I don't know. Is there any reason there shouldn't be?
Yeah, because there weren't 9 enterprises at this point.
No, maybe Picard just got in a modeling mania and he just built a couple extra ones.
There
Well,
you go.
maybe
let's break it down. Let's
Stargazer?
break it down for
I don't
1
know.
second. We got the
What's-
NCC 1701,
My
and then
favorite.
we get the A, the B, the C, the D, now, and the E.
Don't
So
tell
that's
Scotty.
5. That's 5. Now, if you want to go back further, we have the NX-01, and we also get the oh my stars, the CV. We
Yeah,
get the
the
aircraft
CV.
aircraft
Carrier.
carrier.
Yeah, carrier.
Sorry about that. And so
And there were 2
7.
of those.
8.
Mhm.
And Nathaniel Perry says what I was guessing. His past ships are on display too, like the Stargazer and whatever else he served on.
I just think I don't know. Maybe you know what? Now that we've counted, I can let it pass.
You're kind of nitpicking a little bit,
You're
Scott.
you're
Of
forg-
course
you're
I am.
forgetting-
I'm a Star Trek fan.
Yeah, that's what he's here for. Gorilla's Random Thought says you're forgetting the aircraft carrier and the wooden English ship.
The
That's right.
wooden
Oh, there
ship,
you
that's
go.
9.
And the
Mhm.
shuttle.
And the
The
shuttle.
shuttle.
Yeah.
Come on, Scotty. Think.
Oh,
I know. I should
Captain
catch up.
Infinity says you think Picard could make a couple of Eagles. I'm not sure that Space 1999 was a fictional
No.
show for Picard.
And big shout out to Captain Infinity. I don't respect his rank, but I do enjoy his friendship, even though we are enemies.
Frenemies?
Happy enemies? Happy enemies?
Happy frenemies. Yeah, I think
Mm.
Joe nailed the head. So yes, so you can have 9. You can have 9 little ships. You're allowed. I'll let it pass.
So I think it's weird for Shinzon to be Praetor since the Romulan Empire considers them second-class citizens, and so their reasoning here, they say it was a coup d'etat because of that it had to have support from the Romulan military, and since we don't get any other explanation in the entire movie, we have to agree.
And the thing is, though, the Romulans do seem to be a society that is constantly there's factions constantly fighting it out. So I don't find it totally unbelievable that he did do a coup d'etat and gain some kind of control. And it's like Napoleon, right? He puts the crown on himself. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to, be around for that long, right?
I do want to give such big credit to the way that they deal with the duplication, like Brent Spiner as B4 and Data. I think that the special effects to having one actor play 2 characters is really seamless.
Oh, I agree.
Like,
I love it.
I think it looks great.
I love
Again, that's one of the reasons why I'm sort of upset, because I think at the end, I think that Shinzon should look like Patrick Stewart. I think it should be Patrick Stewart at the end.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But and they're not afraid to do it, and they do it really, really well. Stuart Baird, the director of this film, is one of the most talented editors in the history of cinema. He has edited some of my favorite James Bond movies. I think he's a terrible director in terms of this material, but he does this movie looks fantastic. As I've said before, turn off the sound, and this movie is great.
The production is top rate for sure, Scotty. But I just want to mention it's not the special effects of Data; it's the acting of Brent Spiner that sells it for me, because he's like totally 2 different characters. Like
totally
as B4, he's awesome. Like he just plays him.
Yeah, I don't exactly. Yeah, like you're saying, Stuart Baird was better. Subspace Chatter says it best, I think, here. So Stuart Baird was a much better editor than director. And he says that he thought he did well with editing Casino Royale. So
agreed.
So I'm not sure I credit Baird with how Brent Spiner acts. Brent Spiner is Data, and so he's very good at playing Data, and it doesn't surprise me that he's able to play a less sophisticated version.
I just thought it was impressive the way he kind of dumbed Data down for the B4 character. I thought it was very effective, and I really totally respected his acting in this film.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the plot, we'll get there when.
Well, Classic Comics says Baird was a hot name at the time, and Paramount just seemed to be fixated on him. And also, all accounts are that he didn't really want to do Star Trek, and they threw a lot of money at him. I think it shows in this film.
Yes.
Well, I think it's more to do with the writing of the story than the director. I mean, I can't blame him too much. He had, maybe he had a bad script, and he did the best he could with it, and we got what we got, right?
Oh, he edited Superman?
No way.
No.
No,
I believe you. I believe you, Don Power
though.
Ranger.
He must be an old geezer though by now. Then
he is. No, he was an old geezer when he directed this. I've seen images.
Okay.
He did.
Yeah. So he was in his 50s, I guess.
You're talking the Christopher Reeve movie, like that's like late 70s, right? So
yeah, 78.
Yeah.
Same age as me.
Wow.
And a member for 1 month, Rod Thunderheart, says, "Hail, Anti-Jill. Brief plug for See-Through Love. A Spanish teacher who can become invisible falls in love with a new gym teacher who's blind and can see her."
Well, Rod Thunderheart, I wish you would watch Pretty Maids All in a Row.
Okay.
Gene Roddenberry penned erotic thriller.
Do you actually like that movie? I haven't seen
I
it.
do. I love it. It's got Telly Savalas.
All right.
Can't
As
go
long as
wrong with Telly.
as long as you're recommending things you like.
I am recommending it because I do enjoy that film. I think it is insane, but it's by the same guy who directed Barbarella. It's an amazing film, and I think everyone should see it. It's probably free on YouTube. But I
it
have
is.
the DVD.
Anonymous says, "Hey, I forgot this was a thing. Howdy, gang." Hello, Anonymous. Great to
Hello,
see you.
Anonymous.
It's true. You guys can use that to get my attention. A little breezy. Let's see. Oh, I posted Rod Thunderheart's book right here.
Delicious.
Franco Walker says, I still can't find that film, ScottyR37.
Well, you come up to Ontario and I'll lend it to you as long as you return it.
And hello, hey, Snortapoopus Keeper is here.
Poopers.
Snorty.
Don't make fun of Superman the movie. Oh no, I don't make fun of Superman. I love Superman the
No.
movie. Who did that?
That's like church.
Napoleon crowning himself as emperor is a fascinating detail from PvP, actually. Yeah, I guess that is a good parallel. Essentially what he does.
So we do have a dual performance between Brent Spiner and Brent Spiner.
Yep.
And one, he is... I get frustrated every time I see B4 because the entire interaction is Data being like, "Hello, B4, do you understand what's going on?" And he's like, "No." All the time. So every time he tries to intellectually engage with B4, B4 is like, I don't know. And it frustrates me to no end. Like each scene, if B4 progressed as a character, I would be happier. But he doesn't ever until the very
exactly.
end.
You would think if Data can't communicate with B4 verbally, that he would have communicated with him on a computer level, like he would have gone down to the binary level or something and tried to get to him.
I love this. Go back one.
B4 is like a child. He still has to learn.
Yeah. So fine. I don't want to hang out with the idiot. Go back one.
Wow.
No, forward one.
Okay, you have to wait then.
Okay. But there is this is it. Riker is saying, okay, the captain's log says we've been waiting 17 hours. And Picard at this particular moment decides to walk up to the view screen. And Riker is like, should we raise shields? What are we even doing here? And so Picard says, patience. Diplomacy is a very exacting occupation. At which point, the scimitar decloaks and is threatening the Enterprise. And it's like, we were sent here on a diplomatic mission, yo. Everyone on the bridge is diminishing Picard's moment. Because he is, if you watch Star Trek The Next Generation, he is a brilliant diplomat. He is one of the most exacting and intellectual captains that I have ever seen. And this scene right here makes Jean-Luc or JL look like a dummy.
Oh, don't.
Yeah,
You know what I hate about that? that you called him JL is that there's a deleted scene where Riker is teasing the new first officer, saying, "Hey, he loves to be called John Luke."
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if that's where New Trek got that idea from.
This exactly. Dude, I will watch Star Trek until the cows come home, and I love seeing my friends on screen. But this show, it's so terrible.
So, hey, I just want to say hello to Wes Cagle. I see you're reviewing the absolute worst film of the original 10. Yes, we are, but we do have someone on the panel who disagrees. No, there is Insurrection.
Insurrection is better, but I do appreciate both of
I
your
think Insurrection is much worse, personally. I just want to mention, Jill, if I may, the time is ticking away here, and I know you usually end around quarter after 1 my time, and we're kind of way behind in this film.
Yeah, we kind of are.
So
we're having fun with it.
Yeah, we're having fun with
it. It's great, but I'm just saying, I know you usually have to end at a certain time.
Yeah, but you know what? It's Nemesis. Who cares?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make you aware that we are kind of having a slow burn today, but that's fine.
But that's also part of the fun of
Then
this.
consider when you talk.
I just wanted to make you aware, that's all.
Raymond?
There's the resemblance.
Well, he looks like an orc.
Yeah, I don't like the orc look. I thought it was dumb. That was one of my criticisms of the film. I don't like the orcs.
I don't know. They do reference the Dominion. They reference the Dominion War, saying that the Remans were cannon fodder. And there is a mishap where what's his who I am not Shinzon. I am his proconsul, not proconsul. What is
something like that?
Viceroy. That's right.
That's it.
And so we see Vampire Man, and then we do this whole thing. I still think this movie would be so much better if Patrick Stewart played both parts.
Yeah, I think that they considered doing that, didn't they? But they didn't end up going with that decision.
I love Tom Hardy, but unfortunately, this is the movie that made him addicted to heroin. And also, and me too.
I am so surprised. I mean, I am wondering how come Picard didn't recognize him just by his voice.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, he didn't realize it until he saw the face. I'm like, at least he.
So sure, yeah, right, exactly. If he's supposed to look so much like he did when he was young, he should have noticed him right away. I agree with you.
You listen to the voice, it's like, oh no.
This is so. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
what do you think of
Tom Hardy?
This is Tom Hardy.
I gotta say,
this is Venom.
I hate that costume. I hate that costume so much. That's another critique I have of the film. That costume is ridiculous. I mean, come on. Those shoulder pads, are you kidding me?
No, I know. But Romulans in Next Generation, they have their. Can you skip this? Romulans have shoulder pads.
You could put somebody's eye out with those shoulder pads.
He's got pointy elbows.
Okay, so the thing is, sure, the genetic markers might be the same, so they'll have the same illnesses, so that's possible. But then he says,
syndrome.
Yeah, then he says, "I feel what you feel," and no, that I don't buy that part because you didn't live Picard's life to emotionally develop the same way. And it's the same thing Data says later in the movie, that you're built as an individual based on your experiences.
Yeah,
true.
And so
I enjoy that.
Yeah, that is the one scene I like in this movie, even though we haven't got to it yet. But
well, and the weirdest thing, Dr. Crusher goes to Picard and says he's dying. He is going to die imminently. The movie says he is going to die in a matter of moments. And they're like, let's fight him. It's like you could just walk away and let him die.
But then the movie wouldn't happen, right, Scotty?
Yeah, because it's a bad movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. They don't need to engage with him at all. He's
Yeah,
gonna
they could,
kill
just,
himself.
they could just warp away and be like, we could just kind of have the
Nee, nee,
last
nee,
half
nee,
of the
nee, nee.
film having
Let's
a
go to
party,
Quarks.
Yeah, exactly. That would have actually been probably
Riza.
more fun.
Riza's a better choice, but I want, hey,
Oh,
Jill,
Lord.
Raymond, everyone on the panel, Jim, PvP, if you had a choice, where would you rather go? Would you rather go to Riza or would you rather go to Quarks?
I
Quark.
don't know.
Riza. Riza.
Riza
I'm a
could be
Quarks man myself.
Riza could be a good time though, because I don't.
Oh, you could get Rise on the Hollow Suite.
Yeah,
I was just
that's
picking
true.
random places.
I
Actually,
can do both.
Yeah, I'd go
The-
to Quarks. I mean, he's got all those hollow programs where you could have a good time. So yeah, I'll
Vulcan
go
Love
with Quarks.
Slave. Vulcan Love Slave #2, I hear, is pretty good.
I do enjoy Vulcan Love Slave #2. We listen to the same jukebox.
Is that the
How
one that
about,
you did the other night?
How about Vulcan Love Slave with a selection of Klingon women thrown in just for a little
Oh
bit
my
extra
God.
fun?
Ooh.
Can you imagine a Vulcan with a bat left?
And it's a Klingon opera in the background.
I gotta say, a
Exact-
Klingon woman is a bit of a
Maylorta.
fantasy. Because
Uh-huh.
those Klingon women, man, I bet they'd be intense.
So my biggest problem with Shin is that Shinzon.
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 I can't talk. Is just he says I am you, like he's like no, he's not him. He's just a cop.
But
I
this
am
is
he and
we
you
have-
are he and we are all together. Oh, that just
but this is sort of the crux of the film. Is
this right
that-
here, this nothing
Well-
scene.
The crux.
No, not this scene. We can play through this.
I am. Oh, we also had the creepy request to touch Troy's hair as foreshadowing for later.
Yeah, well, we'll get to the sexual assault when we get to it. Commander Susan Saran.
Saran.
All right.
Yeah. There's this whole scene with Suran asking Shinzon why the Enterprise is here with no answer at all. He just gives bile and beat him and he might as well have said, "Well, wouldn't you like to know, you ramen, whatever explicitive you want to give him."
But I think Commander Dinatra, like played by my stars, what is her name?
Oh, tell me her name.
I forget.
Oh, then.
Oh no,
have to
she
find
was in Starship Troopers.
Oh, really?
I forget. Yeah, no, I feel bad for her for the fact that she has this on her resume. Hey, Spot.
Hey,
Yeah,
Spot.
Mhm. For like a few seconds. Then before becomes a secret agent.
Part of the thing that I really enjoy about seeing Spot is that I know how much Brent Spiner hates cats.
He hates
So
cats? Wow. I never
yeah.
knew that.
Oh no, I've totally seen interviews with him and he's been like, I
Ah.
do not like cats. He's more of a dog guy. And
Yes, anytime someone asks who he hated working with the most, it's always Spot.
it's always Spot.
That's kind of sad.
No, it's not. Cats are jerks.
I like cats. I like cats.
Yeah,
more than
well, that's
dogs.
your problem.
I like
you
cats
also like
too.
this movie.
But I've never tried to work with them on stage.
Well, I don't think. What's the old expression? Don't work with animals or kids because they're a pain.
And I think that's how he presents it. I think that's how he says it.
Oh, maybe Spot was just a pain to work with. Maybe he was just a bad actor. And
Well, it's not just one cat.
So, but why does it matter that? Okay, so
But I
we do
like
care
that-
about it.
I like the fact that they bring Spot back. I wish they had Nurse Ogawa, but no dice.
Oh man, is that this the end of my? Yeah, this is the end of my
That's it.
major.
Oh no, this
No,
is the
no.
flashback. This is the explanation of what happened.
this
when
is-
you
this
were a
is where I
slave
stopped
child
typing.
in Mordor.
And I start writing, and I got to look at my chicken scratch now.
Do you guys see any sort of ridiculous parallel with Remus and Mordor? Do you think that this was I don't want to say a ripoff, but like, do you think that this is a reference to the terrors of Mordor?
Mordor? Are you trying to talk about Lord of the Rings?
I'm trying, but you know I don't like it or know much about
okay,
it.
so Mordor.
But I'm just saying, like, look at Mordor. Look at
Are
the
you
way that
calling
the
the Remans orcs?
Yes, I've been doing that for approximately 40 minutes.
You have, but I really didn't know how serious you were about that.
They do look orc-like. Actually, I gotta admit, at least to me, they look like orcs.
Like I think that he's an orc.
Well, let's face it, fiction does kind of feed off of other fiction a lot of the time, right?
Then you'd be saying that the
possible.
Then you'd be saying Remans have no souls.
Well,
you can take one aspect without taking the whole package, right? Though, Jill.
You know what? I'll go one further. I don't think Romulans have souls.
And yeah, they do.
I disagree.
No, they don't.
You didn't.
Some Romulans.
Yeah, they do. They totally have souls.
Go back to
Balance
Balance of Terror. Mark Leonard's captain is like,
exactly.
In another life, I could have been. We could have been. You could have been a friend. Like that's soulful.
Yeah, I've used that line so many times.
You find one cool Romulan, and all of a sudden,
I think there's many cool Romulans. There's some Romulans that
Name
I
7.
really enjoy. Well, for one thing, the Romulan.
Do I get to have Sarek?
The Romulan captain.
Sarek isn't a Romulan.
I mean, not Sarek. I meant
I'm sure there's a few in the Next Generation series, but I'm not going to try and remember like 100 and something episodes. So you're out of luck there, Scotty. But the Romulan commander that comes with the Warbird at the end of this film, like she's soulful in saying, "Can we be of assistance?" She's putting her life on the line to help Picard and the Enterprise. So
she is cool.
I think she has a soul.
Yeah, fair enough. And what
there
kind
was
of
one,
hubris?
Yeah, there was one in TNG who I like. Oh no, wait, it was Deep Space Nine that I liked. There was a Vulcan who was really helpful.
I didn't hate the Romulans.
I mean, not a Vulcan, a Romulan.
There's some cool.
How do you guys feel about Romulans in general?
This is actually a thing where I'd have to do some research to figure out which Romulan.
Yeah, but in general,
like I want to include Savik, but they don't say that she's Romulan.
They don't.
I do like the Romulans overall. I mean, I think there's a very dark side to their empire, of course, but I think there's some individuals that stand out, that I think are pretty good people, so to speak.
Jim, how do you feel about Romulans?
They're ugly.
I don't know, man. Laris is cute.
In the original series, they look exactly like Vulcans.
Yes. But that's an evolution of the prosthetic. Like we do in the same way that when the Klingons get foreheads, also the Romulans get foreheads.
Oh, JT Kirk says Dr. Crusher doesn't have a soul. The ghost would have stolen it if she had one.
Oh,
and I don't know if that was a redhead joke.
No, it was a positronic candle. Or
it's a reference to that really bad episode in TNG where she,
falls in love with the ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? I'm just happy that if anybody has a crush on Dr. Crusher, there is an episode where you can watch her orgasm repeatedly.
Thanks for
sharing. So, what do you guys think about
this scene?
Not this scene. I'm not here yet. Picard and Shinzon meeting. We're not with the slides anymore.
Oh, we're not even going to talk about
if you don't. Well, yeah, we are, but I haven't gotten there yet because we haven't even talked about Thalaron radiation. Why does the scale of destruction matter? It's deadly on a subatomic level. So what? Like, what difference does it make if it's destructive on a larger scale versus a smaller scale?
I think
it's just okay. We can put it in some powder, and that means something.
I think it's a weak ticking clock. Like they have an ace up their sleeves. Like the Thalaron, like later on, he says, "Deploy the weapon," and it's like it will. The radiation that they use will eliminate all life. And I think that it is just sort of. It's almost like a Genesis device.
I'll be right back.
Genesis?
Okay. I hear you, Raymond. Yeah, it is exactly like this movie is it tries to copy Rathacon, but doesn't have any of the soul or heart. Speaking of not having a soul,
you know what? I would be so happy if I could see a high school recreation of this film. I want to see children make this movie because it would entertain me as opposed to watching this movie.
Oh, speaking of the scene that I skipped over, it turns out they used CGI to take away Riker's back hair. That's the thing.
Oh no, he did. But that was a disagreement between him and what's his name? Stuart Baird. And
hello?
They were like, well, I'm here.
Can
you hear me?
ScottyR37's sound cut out for anyone else?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
No, I think that was a refutation of the direction of Stuart Baird. And they were like, can you shave your back? And I think he said, "Farg off, icehole."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course it really doesn't develop. What does it say? It doesn't make Shinzon a good, of course we're not supposed to think he's a good character, but he just assaults he assaults
grapes?
Troy. He grapes her, and for sure. So
it is really disturbing.
It does nothing. It does nothing. It's just dark. It's not Star Trek.
Well, no, but the entire reason that exists is so that they can set up the Ouija board later.
Yeah.
And it's really unsettling.
I think somebody in the chat earlier mentioned the episode Violation, so it has been in Star Trek before. So it's in company with some of the worst episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Ouija board. Oh, to set up the.
Ouija later on, when they're trying to, and oh my god, it's so. I get so frustrated, and I recently revisited my frustration today. Is Data gets on to the scimitar after Picard is captured, but in the scene immediately preceding Data rescuing Picard, they are talking about how the scimitar has a perfect cloak. It cannot be penetrated. So my question is, how did Data get over there?
They were beaming over B4, and maybe Data tried to pretend he was B4, but they don't actually say that. They don't explain it. They don't explain it, Scotty, and you're absolutely right to pick on it because
you
it makes
sound
no
like
sense.
a special child in the back of a bus eating applesauce.
Me?
What?
Yeah.
What? Okay, now I'm really lost.
Why?
Welcome.
Welcome to the
Special child, back of us eating applesauce. I don't get any of that.
I thought it was a very apt reference to Simple Minds.
Who?
Good band.
No, what's simple about it? Exactly.
How do you beam over to a perfectly cloaked vessel?
You can't.
But they do.
It's called a plot hole. It's a plot hole.
It is a huge plot hole.
And
the only thing I can think of is that they think they're beaming over B4, but they beam over Data somehow because he's super clever, but they don't ever explain the cleverness that went into it.
Indeed. And I'm sorry, I said that I was gonna make my elbows less pointy, and I'm clearly not doing that. I am so angry at this movie. I think it's
I don't even like applesauce.
Well, good.
Yeah, I don't like applesauce either.
Everybody, let's do a poll. Who likes applesauce?
Roy. Oh, this is terrible. Okay, so they just had the grape scene, and then Picard's like, "Yeah, do it again." He encourages the assaults. Be assaulted again. No, you can't. You can't back out of this now.
I gotta
You've
say
got
that
the special power.
That whole assault scene is one of the most cringy things I think I ever saw in my entire life. I really hated that whole entire sequence.
Well, that's how I feel about the whole movie, PvP.
No,
There
but
are
thing
feel
is,
good movies, and then there are feel bad movies, and this is
well,
for
no,
me a
no,
feel
no, no,
bad
no.
movie.
That was a bad sequence, but I can still separate it from other aspects of the film, is what I'm saying, Joe.
How do you feel about the?
That was a horrible that sequence did, bother me quite a bit.
How do you guys feel about the design of the scimitar?
I like it.
I thought it looks okay.
I think it looks
okay.
very intimidating.
But I mean, let's face it. I don't think it was anywhere near as cool as other sets like on the Enterprise, because a lot of it was so dark you really couldn't see very much, which I think was on purpose to save budget. But yeah,
I
it was okay.
I didn't corroborate this, but I heard somewhere that the design for the scimitar came from the lionfish in Picard's ready room.
Livingston?
Yes, Livingston. Well, if you look at it when it opens up, it's biogenic little pointy things.
That's weird.
Huh. That's a weird. Geez, that is weird. How would they even know about Picard's fish? Like,
oh,
Shinzon's a stalker.
There was a thing, I think, that Patty Stew said about Livingston. And he was he was upset at the captivity of that fish. And so they retconned it so that it was a holographic fish.
Oh, jeez.
Whatever.
I know.
That doesn't count. Chronos says, I make my own applesauce. I like applesauce with apples wrapped in pastry, says Gavin Blackburn. And Chronos says that's called apple pie.
Apple pie.
Yeah,
I'm
done.
Yeah, I could go for an apple pie, yes.
Like a McDonald's apple pie? I want one.
But
Donnie likes applesauce.
Yeah, applesauce never appealed to me. I don't know.
Let's stop talking about Star Trek Nemesis and start talking about fruit and how you can turn it into different kinds of
I
sauces.
think you need to do a stream about applesauce, Jill.
I disagree.
Applesauce. Who's your friend?
Chronos says, oh, sorry.
Sorry, Chronos in the chat says I smokes too much, and that reminds me I have to go smoke. So I'll be back in a second.
Smokes too
Okay.
much. Snoop
Enjoy your cancer.
I like a bit of apple, not mushy mush.
So we're talking about food. What is this, King Dolphin TV?
Yeah, I just suddenly got drained from thinking about this movie for a minute.
We're just off riding that horse named Tangent once again there, King. Which we do often. They definitely
how do you guys
orcs.
how do you guys like how when they still don't have shields up this whole time, and then we find out okay, so that's how Scotty's gone. That's how they transport. That's how Data got through. Wait a minute. Oh no, Shinzon must have their shields up, but Picard, but the Enterprise didn't have their shields up.
Okay, I really like this. I like the last part of this film. Like, I think it's pretty cool.
Because the Enterprise doesn't. They don't bring up their shields until they get attacked.
It's an action movie. I agree. It's not maybe the best Star Trek, but as an pure action film at the end here, I thought it was pretty awesome.
I know what I don't do when I'm in an action movie. I don't put up my shields. And so, how does Picard's blood help Shinzon's illness? They don't really don't explain too much about Shinzon's illness. Just that he was supposed to once he got to a certain age, he was going to be accelerated, but it was never activated, so he's dying. That's
I guess something in Picard's blood might rewrite his DNA in some way.
DNA.
That was my guess.
Yep. Something in Picard's blood is DNA. When he had the illness, he got over it. So that's what Shinzon needs to survive.
And yet Shinzon, being an idiot, wants to murder him, that's one plot hole that makes no sense to me. I must agree.
He wants to take over Picard's life.
But he needs Picard's blood first to do it.
Dialysis treatment or what? Dialysis?
Well, More like a blood transfusion, but in this case,
Mhm.
it's like a DNA transfusion, Jill. I'm guessing.
It'll be a blood transfusion. Probably take every blood that he's got out of his body. That's why he's going to be dead.
That's what Shinzon should
Okay,
have
so
done.
here's
He just
here's
should
another
have
question.
drained Picard's blood, and he could have
Well,
saved
yeah, that's
himself
the
and killed
biggest
Picard.
question. So the biggest question there is that once Shinzon kidnaps Picard, why doesn't he just destroy the Enterprise so that Picard can never escape again, and then he could have Picard and have the blood he needs? And he still has, he thinks he has B4. I don't know how B4 became Data. That's never explained, but
Hey,
he
Jill,
he thinks he has everything he needs.
Jill, have you
He
ever
can
thought
just
of becoming a screenwriter? Because you probably could do a better job than a lot of these people.
I haven't. I'm just having fun talking about it.
But you have a very
today.
logical mind. I think you could really write a good screenplay if you put the work into it.
Well, thank you. I just don't know if I'm imaginative enough, but I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
I think you're pretty imaginative. At least you seem to be
Okay.
on streams.
It's okay if you despise what I love. Yes, I know, Johnny. I
No,
know.
that's
That's
not
what's
fun.
great
That's
about
like
you.
we can agree to disagree and have a good time doing it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
This is a great stream, Jill. I gotta say, I'm having a great time today. This is awesome fun.
Some films really are so bad that they demand repeat viewing.
Yeah, I actually want to watch this film again. Now I hate to say it, but this could be
Well-
one I watch like maybe once every year because it's just like it's one of those films. Like it's kind of addictive to me, which is weird. I know.
That's
but
the thing. It's that I just used to just hate this movie, and now I'm actually trying to analyze it. So I have another question.
Okay.
If Shinzon knows where the fleet is, like he figures out where. Well, okay, he doesn't actually. Okay, that doesn't matter because Data fed him the wrong information. So
Right.
never
Dana
mind.
gave
That's
him
not a good
information.
question. This movie's so
Right.
confusing.
that was the false fleet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay, forget about that question. Then it's not a good one. I wrote that before I learned that part.
That
So
was
I
actually
didn't-
one thing in the movie that kind of made sense when Data fed them the wrong fleet coordinates. I mean, that was like
Mhm.
actual Star Trek.
Oh, I asked that question at the top of the show, which was good. Not going to ask that again. What do we learn from Nemesis? All we learn is if Picard were orphaned and then made to work in the mines, he'd have grown up to be a deranged psychopath. And that's my review of Nemesis.
And
Concise.
that's probably one of the better reviews.
I like 1 through 6. And don't make me rank at the moment, says Cronus. Oh, well, of course. The TOS movies always win.
Oh, the TOS movies are way, way superior to the Next Generation films. That's
Mhm.
very, very true.
You have to pound that keyboard every day if you really want to make it, says Captain Infinity, regarding becoming a writer. Yeah, ultimately, George R. R. Martin demonstrated he doesn't have what it takes. Well, he just
True that.
grew passionless.
Do that.
I think he just got tired of writing. He just got bored. In his old
And
age.
finish what you started.
No, the thing is, he's still writing. He's just not writing. Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
well, yeah, he should finish Game of Thrones. I mean, that does suck.
Not going to.
I must agree.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
Oh, well, what can you do?
You know what?
Oh,
I
hey,
don't.
I finally got to your question. How did Data replace B4? I have no clue. Oh, they said emergency well, I don't know. Go ahead.
I was hanging out with my roommates for a moment there, and they were like, I don't know what you're yelling about, but it seems very passionate. And I'm like, we're yelling about Star Trek. It's one of my favorite things.
I think I'm yelling too today. So, okay, so here's the answer. I guess I don't know how he beamed through the shield, but maybe he.
Yeah, no, there's no explanation. It doesn't.
There's
make
no.
any
Yeah,
sense.
I'm confused. I'm totally confused.
What the hell is temporal RNA sequencing anyway? Like, I don't even know what that means.
Temporal RNA? No.
Well, if you go back a couple stills, Jill, it was right on the screen there.
Oh no, I understand. Like, I watched the movie. I understand where she's coming from. She
That's-
said,
like you said earlier.
She
That's
said,
like- Yeah.
Sorry, Jim.
That's like the blueprints of your body, how it's built.
But temporal?
Well, that's the name that they call it, but the RNA or the stuff that's in the body.
I get the RNA part. It's just the temporal bit that
Oh,
kind of
it's
threw
just a
me
big
off.
name. Yeah.
Here's
That's Star Trek technobabble kind of.
Here's how I understand it. And one of the best things about Star Trek technobabble is that they do explain it. So Shinzon is a clone of Captain Picard. And at a certain point, there was supposed to be some sequencing, like RNA sequencing, that would accelerate his development age-wise, so that he would be able to grow faster and take the place of the Jean-Luc that we know and love.
Correct.
And when that didn't happen because they abandoned the project of Jean-Luc Picard, that's when he started to die. And
that's the only explanation we get.
That is the only explanation we get. And so when that acceleration did not happen, then Shinzon, he started to die. And the only thing that will save him is a blood transfusion from the only possible donor, which is JL.
Yep.
Okay, but the Romulans decided to make this clone while Picard was on the Stargazer. Why?
Which is, because he's a middle management man.
No, I'm guessing the Romulans just kind of, they want to just mess with the Federation as much as they can, too, at least certain factions.
I believe the word you're looking for is contrivance.
Yes, it's a contrivance. Earlier, also Data did a Vulcan neck pinch.
I'm fine with that. He did it. He's done it before.
He did it. He's strong enough.
Speaking of Data, I really like this scene that you're featuring here, Jill, for a while now.
Why do you like this? You enjoy seeing Data torture?
I just like Brent Spiner's acting in this sequence.
Which one?
Both of them.
Both of the Brent Spiners?
They're both Brent Spiner.
You like it every time Data deactivates one of his brothers?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I like the deactivation, but I appreciate the quality of the acting is what I'm trying to say.
I agree with you there. I mean, do
it's sad. It's kind of heartbreaking, but it's heartbreaking in an enjoyable way, if that makes any sense. Because it's quality acting. Come on, guys.
He activates B4, and B4 cannot move, and all he's doing is pleading with Data. Can I move now? Do you know what you're doing?
I don't even know if he's so much pleading as he's just like a child that doesn't even understand what's going on.
But again, it is a situation where Data is like, no, I can't make you move because you are dangerous. He's not dangerous.
I think Data
simple.
Yes and no.
I think Data just wants to eliminate a distraction at this point because he has bigger things on his mind.
Well, no, he B4's spy, unwitting spy, so he's dangerous.
He does not understand, which is 90% of the dialogue of B4 in this film. He's like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
You know what? That was another deleted scene. Data was apparently teaching him how to have table manners, which I don't understand why. So I'm glad they cut that. That sounds dumb. I didn't see it.
Yeah, because Data doesn't even need to eat, so that doesn't make any sense at all.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Raymond. I hate this movie so much.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say it is. I mean,
and I accept your apology.
It's not a great film.
It's got its flaws, however.
It's very flawed, but I think it has a lot of good. I think it has some positive qualities.
What do you like?
And which
Okay,
I
I'll
wrote
give you
for and
one.
discussed.
I'll give you one. It's I do like that Data has the emergency transport unit thing, and Picard is like, no, we're gonna figure out how to get off together.
That was a good
Mm.
scene.
Phrasing.
Mhm.
That was real
Off
Star
the
Trek.
ship.
That was
Thank
real
you.
Star Trek.
I like the combat.
The combat is so amazing in this
I
film.
love the that's what I love. I mean, the first half of the film is kind of draggy.
But I still think that the space battle in Insurrection is better than this one.
Oh God, Insurrection's. Oh,
Uh,
I'll sleep before I watch Insurrection again.
I don't know. We'll have to review it here for me to know which one I hate more.
Mhm.
God, I might take a pass on that one. I don't think I can ever watch.
I like that
Insurrection.
they have the Archer.
To
I
be
like they
honest,
have the
it's like,
USS Archer.
Oh yeah. You're right. They do. Let's go back to that. Oh, and then
I-
one thing I did miss was earlier they did a maneuver that they called Kirk. The
Kirk
Yes.
Epsilon Theta.
I love that. That was an awesome little name dropping for Kirk. I love that.
Well, and it makes sense that Riker would be a Kirk fanboy.
Well, Riker always was a Kirk wannabe, right?
Well, he was a Kirk substitute.
He was, yeah, basically, because Picard was so brainy and diplomatic. You had to have Riker doing a little bit of action scenes once in a while.
In the show, he was brainy and diplomatic. In this one, he's all like, let's crash into it. Sorry,
I
we'll
love
get
that
Oh.
scene. That's another part I enjoy. I love the action at the end of the last part of the movie is really good. I'm sorry, it's popcorn, maybe brain dead fun, but I just like it.
Captain Finity.
Okay, but why does
says-
that destroy? Wouldn't both ships just be destroyed?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, and don't forget, like when Shinzon does full reverse, it acts like it's, the Enterprise is stuck in the snow or something. And it's like, why would you backing up make it so that the ships would separate? You should actually just be pulling the ship with you. There is no reason that after the ramming speed, why would they separate just because the scimitar goes in reverse? It doesn't make any sense.
Correct.
Captain Finity in the chat says, I couldn't bring myself to watch any of these full-length TNG snooze fests. Well, your business, I suppose.
Yeah, my main problem with this movie. Okay, so destroying Earth is a thing that these movies generally like to do. They like to say, "Oh no, Earth is going to be destroyed." But one of the mistakes this movie says is that it would destroy the Federation. But the Federation is a lot of planets. They wouldn't be destroyed just by destroying Earth. It would be a big blow.
Well,
like it would be devastating, but it wouldn't destroy.
No, but I think
if you compare,
that's Shinzon's overblown ego speaking there. It's not reality.
If you compare this film to the motion picture, like the motion picture, so much better. Like at least there are questions. At least there are, like, I don't even think that Shinzon wants revenge. I do. Well, why? Why?
Because he resents Picard for having a great life when he had a shitty life.
And so now he's angry at Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just going to take his anger out wherever he can. He's at that point. People do that when they have a bad enough life. Some people just lash out at everything they can think of.
But the entire, as they have expressed throughout this film, is that Shinzon doesn't appreciate the existence of Picard because he wants to, he feels like an echo as opposed to being the voice. And then, like, throughout this movie, he escalates and he's just like, I want to kill Picard. And then there's a point where he's like, I don't even care about Picard. Let's go destroy Earth. And it's like, Earth is a name drop And it's like, oh no, I live there. Don't blow that up.
Yeah, I
Well,
think that's what it is.
that's a trope in
just
Star
forgotten.
Trek, though.
This
I mean,
movie is
that's an
so
old Star
bad.
Trek trope about destroying Earth. I mean, you can go back to the original series.
It's a movie, sir. It's
There's
a movie.
probably an
trope.
episode in TOS even that talks about destroying Earth. I'm sure there is.
You know what? It's about family.
Yeah, but
I think Shinzon basically
it's
just
just
loses. He just loses.
destroying Earth
all-
isn't my problem. It was
I
just
think
reading.
I would
I think-
very much. PvP, you are a fan of this film. Raymond, you are a fan of this film.
I
and
appreciate it.
I'm
appreciate
curious.
it.
I'm
not
curious.
necessarily a
What,
huge fan,
what,
but I do appreciate its
what-
qualities
what
because it
excites
does have some
you?
good ones.
What excites you about this film?
Oh God, we got another hour.
Or two.
Okay,
I
you know
think
one
I've-
thing
I
that
think I think I've already stated a lot of that previously in the stream, actually, Scotty, and I don't really want to reiterate it over and over.
Makes sense.
Well, you
I'm
don't have
sorry.
to, but you know what I want to mention is that Picard says that you're like me. We got the same heart. They don't have the same heart.
I do think that this is
His heart's been ruined by all that violence.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
you know, this is actually, Scotty. You asked me things I like.
So,
about this
but
film.
wait a minute. Before you say that, I just want to complete that thought. Picard has an artificial heart. Okay, you may go.
Well, I just like there's a few scenes. There's one early in the first half of the movie when he's with she's on trying to tell him he can be a better man, and then we get back to it towards the end of the film here. He's like trying to tell him you don't have to be what you are. You can be better than what you are now. You can rebuild yourself. You can have a better life if you make the effort. He's basically Picard is trying to convince him somehow that he doesn't have to follow this path of destruction. He can follow a better path. He can find a better way. He can be a better person than he is. He doesn't have to end it in this awful way that he's on this path. And I love those scenes. I think those are some of the greatest scenes in the movie. So this movie does have some great moments, which is why I do enjoy it. On a certain level, it's not a great film, but I do appreciate the quality of some of these scenes.
And I do, and specifically to this scene,
I love this scene.
There is a moment where Shinzon says, he's like, I cannot change who I am. And the way Patty Stew, as Jean-Luc Picard says it, he's like, yes, you can. Of course you can. And I think that is the one kernel of Star Trek in this movie, is that you can be better than you are. Boldly go.
You have a choice.
You just haven't been nurtured.
You have a choice.
You have a choice.
That's what I've been trying to tell you guys all through the stream is, I mean, this is not a great movie by any means. It has a lot of flaws, but there are some really good moments in this film that as a Star Trek fan, I can enjoy and appreciate. And that's just what I'm kind of saying, guys,
But I'm with Scotty and calling it just a kernel.
Well, I see it a little more positively, but that's me.
It's mentioned, but it's not very deep.
I like this though.
Yeah.
I love how the Romulans show up to assist the Enterprise. I really think that Romulan commander is pretty cool too. She's pretty cool.
She is.
And
the Romulans changed their minds, so they're going to help the Federation.
Yeah, I love it. Well, there's different factions in the Romulan Federation. Obviously, there's factions.
Don't you think it's pretty stupid that the entire third act is the Enterprise just firing willy-nilly across the galaxy?
No, I don't think it's stupid.
You don't think it's stupid? I think it's stupid.
I think
the Enterprise has done that many, many times before.
No, but usually,
give me an example.
Usually, in Star Trek, actions have consequences. Something happens, and then something happens as a result of that, or you're looking for something, and an action happens, and so the action for Star Trek usually goes along with story beats.
Go back to
And this is
Balance of
just-
Terror.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
How many times does the
Balance of
Enterprise fire at an invisible
Mhm.
Romulan warbird, willy-nilly? Because it's all through that episode. They do it
Yes,
over and
sir.
over again.
But there was a reason and there was a tactical purpose.
Same thing here.
No, I disagree.
I think you're just trying to
Same
find the
thing.
negative, Scotty.
I
They're
don't.
It's
trying to
not
find-
exactly. You know what though? In Balance of Terror, the cloaking wasn't perfect, so there was a scientific way to find it. And in this one, Troy uses her
Well,
magic powers.
I don't know. It seemed like the Enterprise was pretty sure they were invisible in that episode. At least the one I watched. I don't know,
Yep.
Joe.
Oh, hi, Deanna. You seem to have been sexually assaulted by a psychic Raymond. I was hoping, if it's not too much trouble, if you could also be sexually assaulted one more time, or maybe two more times.
That was one
And
aspect
then
of the film
that-
I did not. I
I'm
did not
still
like.
talking PvP. I would really appreciate it if you could maybe open your mind to being sexually assaulted for a third or a fourth time so that we can defeat this clone of me, because he's totes into grapes.
Yeah, I didn't like that aspect of the film. That was a big negative.
I
for
think
sure.
that is a very big detriment of this film.
Yes,
And
I
the
agree.
fact, I
I
think
agree.
the fact that Jean-Luc JL, because we are talking about Picard, I think this is not the man that I admired during The Next Generation. This is some asshole. Sorry about that.
It's Patrick
Like-
Stewart.
Yeah, it's not Picard. I do not see Picard in this show. Oh, wait. Oh, my God. How many decks does the Enterprise have? I have to ask you guys.
A lot.
Less than 29. And they certainly don't have a bottomless pit.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Was that like
Yeah.
a shaft? What was that shaft? What was that?
That was a plot contrivance. This movie, I will watch it and I will enjoy it, but only because it is bad schlock.
24 decks on the Enterprise E.
Well, they're on deck 29 when
I know.
Riker drops, what's his name? The guy from Hellboy.
The writer hit the wrong number, Scotty.
Yeah, well, do better. This movie is
Not just once.
I don't want to take away anyone's happiness, but seriously,
Eh.
You can't take, if
I
someone
cannot.
loves this movie enough, you cannot
I
take their
don't have
happiness
that
away
power.
from them. Because all you're doing is saying things that occurred, like
Yeah, logical
and
things
you're
that
saying
are-
you're saying logical things. You're saying your opinion, and anyone who has a different opinion can still hold
anyway,
that
let's
opinion.
crash into the scimitar.
So
Let's
we're
do
all
that.
the ones that like this film were illogical. Then I'm guessing.
I can't believe this is my birthday movie. This is the one I wanted.
Nobody
Yeah,
said
you-
that.
Why did you pick this, Scotty? Because it's
Because I love it. I
it's kinda
love it.
divisive. They're kind of
No, but I
divisive.
enjoy talking about it and I appreciate it. Like, it is a Star Trek movie. It's part of the 235. This is schlock Star Trek,
735.
and I enjoy it.
It's
do
leave
like
your
this-
brain.
I-
It's leave
I
your
do-
brain at home, Trek.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do like this. I love it when the Enterprise rams into the scimitar, though.
Apparently,
I just gotta
this,
say, I love the special effects here.
apparently this was practical.
so good.
They did make a
It looks really good.
saucer and a ship.
I just
Just
love it's like
diamond
well that you gotta say that's a Picard moment though, right? It's like we're screwed, we're done, we're over. Let's just ram them. What the hell? I got nothing to lose at this point. I thought that was almost Kirk like, when Picard did that. And of course, good old
What?
Shinzon is like, what? And Shinzon's like panicking. He's like, oh no, no. And it's too late. I love
Well,
that.
they
And everybody blew up, and that was the end of the movie. And everybody went home.
Where are Riker and Hellboy fighting?
In the bowels of
this
the
isn't-
Enterprise.
This isn't even a Jeffries
In the
tomb?
bells.
In the bowels.
In the bowels.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a wet fart.
Open sections of the Enterprise. Which
but
should
what
be
is it?
Jeffrey tubes. I don't know. It's just talk to the writers.
Well, no, I'm asking you.
I don't know where the hell they're fighting.
In the bowels of the
But it
Enterprise.
doesn't make sense. It does not make sense where they are fighting
A
in
lot of
terms
things
of
don't
the
make sense in
construction
life,
of the
Scotty.
Enterprise.
It doesn't make sense
Oh.
why. Well, I mean, like, what was he going to? Did he just come to beat up Riker? What was his motivation?
He jumped through the garbage chute.
Also,
I just think-
Zordapoopus says, ScottyR37, it's my birthday and I'll cry if I want to.
I
There you
will.
go.
Troy is again a horrible driver, says Curtis.
I think they
Well-
they needed a Riker fight scene was basically the only reason it happened.
Mm.
Well, and yes. of
There you
course.
go. You got it, PvP.
Thank you, Jill.
The ship is wrecked and they can still do the Thaleron. Yeah, right.
That's a nice line there that was just on the screen a second ago. Some
Raymond
ideals are worth
Dolphin,
dying
yeah.
for. That was a good Star Trek line.
Anyway,
There
are we at the
there
Ouija board yet?
There are Star Trek moments.
Oh, Ouija board's done.
Oh, it's over?
Yeah.
All right.
You missed it.
No, I didn't. When the targeting arms. Oh, right. This is when we get the Thaleron radiation.
Yeah, they're gonna
destroy
radiate everybody.
all humans.
Yeah, they're gonna kill everybody on the Enterprise. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of being a good captain and delegating, he's like, I'm gonna go do it myself.
Yeah.
It's like a giant
Yeah.
spider to me.
Anyway,
It's a lionfish.
how can he?
Well, at least Picard realizes it's not about me anymore.
This is the
Jill
stupidest.
and the rest just got home. Hi, Penny.
Hey, Penny.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi, Penny.
Penny?
This is ridiculous. First things first. Why is there a weapons locker on the bridge?
In case
Based on
intruders-
everything that we've seen in the Next Generation, is because the Federation and Starfleet is supposed to be a ambivalent and or not ambivalent, but it's supposed to be a altruistic.
Seeking out new civilizations. And all that
Exactly.
stuff.
It's a peaceful. It's a
Yeah, but
peaceful
even in
situation.
TOS, Kirk makes a comment, we're the only policemen, in the sector or whatever.
There's a moment in this movie where everybody's wearing faces.
Let's face
like,
it, though, they are the Federation cops, essentially.
Oh my!
Keeping the peace.
I don't.
You guys,
When they
Data's
need
about
to.
to fly.
Oh my God!
And I think a weapon. Why not have I would want a weapons locker on the bridge because we've seen aliens
But
beam off
that
the
is
bridge before.
philosophically against what Starfleet and the Federation are.
It's there to protect the crew, Scotty.
It's defensive, not offensive,
Defensive.
Scotty.
Yes.
You are defending atrocities, and
You're defending the
No.
crew from the past experience that you had. So you want to put weapons wherever you can put
oh
it.
my God!
Scotty,
Only use the weapons when needed.
I thought
respectfully,
I was
Scotty,
gonna be. I thought I was gonna be with people who also disliked.
Well, I don't know. Guinan keeps a rifle under her bar.
So do
Scotty,
you.
Yeah,
with all
right.
due respect, never
Huh?
say
Yes.
I'm defending atrocities because I will never do that.
Calm down. I missed.
No, no, no.
I
It's just-
apologize.
It's just,
Me.
I there's a lot of atrocities that have happened in the real world, and I have never, supported
No, I
any
know,
of that.
and I misspoke, and I apologize.
Yes,
I
and
didn't mean- I didn't
yeah,
mean
he
to say
just
that.
meant cinematically.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Penny says,
okay.
"Happy 37th birthday, Scotty."
Happy.
I will. Thank you, Penny.
Wait, is that a joke in the Muppet Show that Starfleet are the cops?
Even Kirk
Pigs
says
in
Kirk says in their TOS series.
space.
We are the only police out here.
Exactly. Yeah. There's an
Exactly.
episode where he says that.
Yes. I forget the name of the episode, but it's there.
Yeah, I forget the name, but
Starfleet is the
Kirk
military.
definitely made that statement.
Pseudo middle.
Oh, here it is. Picard being an actor.
It is.
Picard
It's Gene
being an actor.
Roddenberry's modification.
Here we
Yeah,
got
Picard's
being an
action hero.
Raymond.
Yes. Yes, exactly. You're right.
I gotta say, I thought the CGI there was pretty weak.
You're not Raymond.
Because that
I'm
was
not Raymond,
CGI,
yeah.
right? A
I'm
clip
Raymond.
ago.
Oh, nice to meet you, sir.
And here we go with the big dramatic ending.
Which is ripped off of Excalibur,
Oh, totally.
Oh, I didn't even
which
think
we
about
did
that.
review on
That's a good
Jill's
point.
channel.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I missed
this
that
is
one.
basically the crux of Shinzon's personality. When he gets impaled, he just digs it right in.
But
I'm
can't
glad we're
you,
together now.
like,
Oh,
don't you
Jesus.
think this would be such a more, and I hate to be talking about the movie that I wish they made as opposed to criticizing the movie that I have
love to do that.
seen.
That's my favorite thing to do.
But don't you think that seeing Patrick Stewart and Patrick Stewart face to face fighting, like that would blow my mind.
It would have been great, Scotty, but it didn't happen, unfortunately.
That would
right?
have that would have worked, but
You know,
But
I
it
just wanted
didn't.
to mention quickly that scene that where Shinzon decides to he gets impaled.
Oh my God, it's
I
Troy
do like
Lopez.
Picard's reaction. I think his reaction is quite complex. I mean, maybe I
Mhm.
just picked up on it, but there's
Goodbye,
kind of a
goodbye, Cronus.
it's
See
more
you,
than
Kronos.
just sadness. It's more than just sadness in Picard's face. It's kind of like a crestfallen disappointment of I tried so hard to make you a better man. I tried so hard to save you. I tried so hard to reach out to
Yeah.
you, and here we are at the end where you're impaled and you're dying, and there's
Mhm.
like a crestfallen disappointment in Picard's face. Emotion. I find that a very emotional scene. I mean, I know a
I
lot of
agree.
people probably don't appreciate it, but this
I
is once
do.
again, there's good things in this movie that's why I kind of like a lot of the stuff, you know.
Well, and I do see a bit of a tragedy in that moment
It's tragic. Yes.
when Shinzon, he dies, and like the entire movie, Shinzon has been trying to explain to Jean-Luc that he is the same person as Shinzon, and then when Shinzon is killed by Picard, and then he decides to even die harder, and he's like, I'm glad I'm here with you for this moment. It is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking because Shinzon's entire
I've never got into Shinzon as a character, but yes, you can continue. It's not heartbreaking to me.
It is heartbreaking for me because I enjoy Tom Hardy as an actor. I enjoy these characters. Like, I am intrigued by the story of Star Trek Nemesis. I just think that they didn't do it properly. I love it. And when Picard is face to face with Picard as Picard dies, this is the moment of the movie where I'm like on board. And I'm like, I love everything about this.
Look, they usually put the story by and the screenplay stuff at the beginning of the movie, but in this case, they put it at the end.
Maybe they wanted to hide it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or maybe they were incompetent.
Brent Spiner had a thing about it. Brent Spiner had a part of that story.
Yes.
Yes,
One of the
he
three
did.
co-writers. Yes.
Yes, he wanted to die. He wanted Data to die because he was getting older, and
no slides.
Yeah, we're done with the slides.
But I wanted what about the Chateau Picard, the Cheers, the Absent Friends?
Oh, okay.
We saw
I'll
it.
get to that. Yeah, we saw it, but I can
I'm
show it
drunk.
again. It's okay.
It's Scottica. It's the end
we
of
didn't see
Scottica,
we didn't get to see Data's death either, which I was kind of looking forward to seeing.
Well,
you
it happened.
wanted to see the snuff film
You can talk about it.
No, I just think Data's death. I think Data sacrificing himself to save the Enterprise
He
and
did.
the crew. I think that was a very touching thing. Like,
Yep.
I think Pinocchio became a real boy there. He was actually self-actualized, and he became kind of human. At least in his. I think he had a soul at that point. He's like, I am going to save my friends, and he did.
I
And I just love that scene.
I don't think that Data became a real boy until
I
Star
do.
Trek Picard season 3.
Well, whatever.
Wait, but in Star Trek Picard season 3, that's not Data. That's like an amount. That's like Frank and Data. It's a combination of lore and.
Well, it's also Frank and Picard, yo.
Well, yeah, that's
the whole cast is Franken in season 3. I watched half
Frank
of
and
it and gave
Perkins.
up.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, look.
I wonder. I wonder when they did the transmute Picard into the robot. Why didn't they just put him into Tom Hardy? That might have improved the series.
Because Patrick Stewart wouldn't have got paid.
That might have been smart. I don't know.
Well,
But
no,
you're expecting intelligence.
Raymond, I don't know if I ever expressed this to you. My idea for the end of Picard season 1 was that I think that Picard should have died, and then they should have named the ship Picard, and then kept going and just like lived in honor of Jean-Luc Picard. I think that they should have boldly gone and sought out new life and new civilizations in the name of Picard on the ship. I think that would have been amazing.
I have actually heard that. I've actually heard that posited. Someone had mentioned that. Just rename, name the ship Picard in honor of Picard.
I think that would have been great.
I think that's what everyone thought was going to happen, and then didn't. But I don't think it would have been amazing.
Well, no, I love Captain Rio.
Less terrible.
I love Agnes. I love Raffi. Well, no, I don't like Raffi.
Why do you like any of them? They're all terrible characters.
No, I think that those characters are fantastic. And you know what? I've been yeah.
But we talked about it. We talked about season 3.
Oh boy.
It's a whole different. That's a whole different live stream. Like, because there's so many things wrong with.
We are like that is something that you and I are going to have to do.
Well, we already did.
We have the last 2 episodes. Those are the 2 episodes that we never reviewed.
True.
We do have to.
Yeah,
we do have to review the finale of Picard season 3.
Ooh. He wants to torture you, Jill.
He does. Well, look at it.
I really get the feeling Jill's not enthusiastic about talking about the filth in any way.
But you know what, though? We did it. I almost have to go, and we did it.
Yeah.
So I want you guys to tell me your final thoughts on this movie, so I don't have to start talking about Star Trek Picard. Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Solid C. It does have flaws, but if you leave your brain home and there is some psychodrama in it, and I did like the combat, so I'll give it a solid C.
I'm with you. I will give it also a C.
Wow, that's really high praise.
Well, because it's Star Trek, and I have affection.
I do too. Because I like Star Trek, I give it an F. Because because it's as brain damaged as B4.
Amage.
Oh, I like it.
Jill's part.
Okay, what about you, Commodore?
Yeah, go for it.
Now you guys are gonna hate me. I give it an A. And when Data died, I cried.
Oh.
I just unsubscribed from your YouTube channel.
You probably already did.
Yeah, I got to subscribe to yours.
I already lost 3 of them last night. It's probably one of you.
You know why it is because of your opinion of Star Trek Nemesis.
You went back in time. That was a temporal unsubscribe.
Oh.
I grew up with Star Trek, so I understand what Star Trek is.
I do too. And I don't hate you for having different opinions from me. Right. And we all love Star Trek and have our own ideas on what is going on. And so I appreciate that you guys talked about this with me today.
Oh, you know what? I'm just happy to watch and talk about Star Trek. And so, yeah, no, this is a C. I'm with Raymond. I'm with Poopus.
Well, I knew I was going to be the harshest reviewer today, and I stand by it. Captain Finity says, yeah, Jill and Scotty really dropped the ball there. Jill and Scotty started reviewing Picard, and I got really invested, you know.
Really?
Temporal unsubscribing is tight.
Yes, it is.
What was yours, PvP?
No, I think Scotty's next up, isn't he?
No, it's you.
No,
you did.
no,
You
Oh,
did.
is it me?
we all
'Cause
gave our grade.
I'm seeing a big still of them all toasting each other here, so
Because Scotty asked for it.
it's a bit.
Because I think it's
okay.
I think it's lovely to absent friends.
I can go then if it's my turn.
It is.
I'll give it a B minus. I think this film is much maligned. I think there's a lot of hate, and I do think sometimes, you know, it's like you know.
Yeah, I got it right there. If you read my scrolling, I say I really, really hate this movie. Okay,
you gave it an F.
I'm trying to connect. I'll just finish my review. It's like a snowball, right? It starts off tiny and you roll the snowball and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. That's like the hate for this film, I feel. There's like just a lot of people on the snowball effect, you know, just piling on the hate, which is fine if you want to do that.
I'll continue with your review on the actual movie rather than reviewing the people who reviewed the movie.
This is why
I was going to do that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Chop chop.
Yeah,
I give it a B minus. I give it a B minus. I think it is a flawed film in many ways, but I do like Tom Hardy's performance. I do like the action scenes in the last half of the movie.
Does look like Venom.
The first half of the movie is draggy quite often, which I think pulls it down quite a bit for me. But overall, I think it's a decent film. If you give it a chance, there's some good elements in there. There's some good Star Trek moments in there. So it's not total garbage, at least in my opinion.
It is.
And I try to look at the opposing viewpoints and take something from them. I just wish the opposing viewpoints would try and see my viewpoint, but maybe that's not going to happen.
Does it
anyway,
make you happy?
B minus. Your turn, Scotty.
Well, no, Scotty gave us. Did you give us a C already? Yeah, you agreed with King Dolphin. I thought King. Yeah, okay. So, see, that's very generous.
I love it. Like, I love it for being a movie. I love it for being a Star Trek movie.
So we had a A and C. And
someone said A. Who said A?
Yeah, Jim.
Jim, I'm gonna block you.
You're already unsubscribed.
Yeah, really.
Okay. I think we did it, and
we're over. It's done.
We survived. Star
did.
Trek Nemesis.
I'll get you, Scotty. I will get you. Be a cold day.
Today is a good day to die.
There you go.
I have just one thing to say because just replace episode with movie.
Whoever wrote this episode should die!
I know we're about out of time, and I want to first and foremost say King Dolphin TV, Raymond Feliciano, I absolutely adored talking about this with you, man. It's so fun to talk Star Trek with you, sir.
I'm honored and happy birthday and glad to talk to you about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next time you see me reviewing stuff, I'm going to review Plato's Stepchildren on Tuesday.
Oh my God.
Can you guys tell me
that
what you're
episode?
Up to?
Plato's Stepchildren is better than Star Trek Nemesis.
I seen that a couple days ago.
All right, King Dolphin TV, tell me what you're doing around on the internet.
Okay, what I'm doing around the internet. We're still doing interviews. We had that last Wednesday. We're probably going to I'll probably do a comic review next week. I've got some more interviews coming up. I've got Stark of Iron in a couple weeks. I've got another artist coming on, and then we have our usual lunacy on Saturday nights, Just Cuz, coming up tomorrow. And in the future, we are into planning for Rolling the Drum PodCon.
Wow, that is so cool. I
We
can't believe it. You're gonna have a PodCon. That's
We're
incredible.
going to have a PodCon in Gettysburg.
I have a question.
Yes.
If there was a battle between dolphins and pandas, who would win?
Oh, well, pandas are not polar bears, so the dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to say dolphins as well, because I want, the extinction of pandas is one of my favorite things.
You see, I have a peace treaty with Snort, so.
Oh, yeah, but he's a polar bear. He's not a panda.
Yeah, and then still selling my books, the Dolphin Wars trilogy. If you don't have it, get it. And that's what I've got going on.
So you're going to be all like milk toast about the panda situation?
Oh, that's the pandas.
Death to pandas is what I was looking for. Thank you.
It probably depends on what Snortapoopus thinks about
Shut up,
pandas.
panda lover.
Kind of cute. I don't know.
I'm sorry about saying shut up. I shouldn't say
Oh,
that.
and I may have an interview with whose name shall not be mentioned.
Voldemort?
No.
Oh.
Someone from the Mirror Universe.
Oh, wait, Raymond, before I let you go,
Yes.
have you ever, what house of Hogwarts are you?
I don't do Harry Potter.
Oh, I just got into Harry Potter. Anyway, moving on.
He's probably Ravenclaw.
He's probably
Gryffindor.
I don't know. Maybe he's a Slytherin.
I'd start my own house. The House of Dolphin.
King Dolphin House.
Yes.
That is the best answer. I wish I had. I am the ScottyR37 house. No, you had the best answer.
Yeah.
Let's everybody subscribe to King Dolphin TV.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for having me on. This was great.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Raymond, for being here. And Jim, Commodore Boone, can you tell me about what you're doing? What are you up to?
Oh, we're still doing what we normally do for fan films. Keep on building fan films for Commodore Productions. Every Monday morning, there's a release every Monday morning, so check that out. There's one coming up. There will be a fan film release February 5th called The Breach coming up. And there is a two-parter to that whenever that gets done for Breach 2. So that's about it, really. Just keep watching Commodore Productions. I do put stuff out about different scenes that I do to see what everybody reacts to it, to see if they like it or not. About it.
Well, you're very handsome.
Cool. That's awesome. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
So, Scotty. Before you say anything, Snortapoopus says pandas are a bit too precious and full of themselves, but they're bears, so he loves them.
I would shiv them in the recreation yard.
All right. So, what else is happening for you? What do you want to share?
Well, Scotica is over. Unfortunately,
This is the
celebration
mark
of me. This is the end of it. And you've been if you would like to find me, I'm surprised. But I'm usually hanging out with my best friend on the internet. Her name is Antiderivative Jill. If you would like to like and subscribe, turn on the notifications. This is where I usually am. And then also I get to hang out on the Phantasmagorium with my second best friend on the internet, who is Sly Snide, who is on X. It's Kat, and we get to talk. She is one of the most brilliant film analysts that I've ever met, and I'm so blessed to have her as a person that I get to talk to. So the Phantasmagorium, Antiderivative Jill, Oh, and also, I didn't mean to forget, if you do have the time, you should go and check out Cinema Gulp.
Oh, of course. Yeah, Cinema Gulp is great.
He is so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gorilla was heading to bed. Bed life. Oh, right. Hey guys, Bird of Prey 5 is streaming right now, so you guys can check that out.
Yeah, let's get over here so I can go over there.
Ari Bavel says happy birthday, and Franco Walker also said happy birthday.
I just hope people are happy that I was born. That's the only thing I want.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Scotty.
Yeah, so this is 2 days later, but this is
it's over. It's done.
Yeah.
It's over.
Happy birthday again, Scotty. I wished you that a few days ago, but I will do it again.
Dude, you're the best. I enjoy hanging out with you, sir.
Me too, Scotty.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling is mutual. Like, you're one of my favorite internet friends. Like you and Jill and everybody here. You guys are all great people.
Well, Jill is, we're going to have to arm wrestle about Jill.
I'm so glad I found you guys. Like, it's been over a year, I guess, maybe a year and a half now.
Yeah, Corona says happy belated birthday. Yeah, no, it's great. Franco Walker says, take care, everyone, and much love to you all. And so I'll play you guys out with Play-Doh Stepchildren.
Oh, wait, no.
I didn't get to talk about my channel, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oops. I'm sorry.
I was just wondering, maybe it's because I was disagreeing with you.
No, it's just that you're on the bottom, and I kept covering you up with the chat, and so it just slipped my mind. My mistake.
Okay,
Please tell us about what you're doing online.
I'll keep it brief anyway. I'm still just doing music playlists on my channel because I haven't got around to doing any videos, but I am currently working on my Power Pop Bands playlist number 2. I actually think the first one with the 25 bands I put in there is pretty awesome, and I hope you guys will check it out. I'm still halfway through working on the second one, and it's becoming a bit more of a challenge because I don't want to keep repeating the same bands, but trying to find new bands can be a bit daunting. But yeah, I will hopefully upload it sometime this weekend once I get it completed. And that's about it, actually, so I'll keep it brief.
Absolutely smashing.
Awesome. Also, want to say hello to Canadian Spider-Man. He got here just in time to say goodbye.
It's really cold here.
Canadian Spider-Man is one of my favorite people, and so I'm glad that he was here for this.
We got a cold warning on my computer, and I got to go out in about an hour, and I'm not looking forward to it.
Well, fair enough.
It's like minus 20 something, so it's not going to be fun.
No.
That's Celsius too, so that is cold.
Is it over?
It's over. I was just going through the chat a bit. I was just yes, it is.
I don't mean to be rude. Like, I enjoy
no, I know. It is over. I just wanted to scan for a second.
All
Donnie said it's lunchtime for me. See you again soon. And
Wes Cagle
thank you everybody for being
very
here.
Pleasant.
I wanted to say, Edge of Time, we are stardust. We are golden. We are
monkeys on a rock traveling through space at an incredible speed.
And we got ourselves back to the garden.
That's a song lyric, by the way. I can't
It is
remember the
definitely.
song.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
That's it. Thank you, King.
Yep.
Jill's streams would be a lot less colorful without you, Scotty. That's for sure. Yeah, that's what I say all the time. Thank you so much, Wes Cagle, for
It's why we're friends. I'm the guy wearing ripped jeans.
Yeah. And so I'll talk to you guys later.
I hope so.
Take care, buddy.
Bye,
Have
guys.
a good one. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
I can't breathe.
Where are you going? I don't know. I don't want to go, but I can't help myself. Let me give you a hypo to ease the pain.
They're gonna kill you anyway, you know that.
In that case, what's the point in you dying too, Alexander?
First time anybody ever thought of my life before his own.
I'm Tweedledee. He's Tweedledum. Spaceman marching to a drum.
Take care, young ladies, and value your wine. Bitter dregs.
I am not afraid. I'm so ashamed. Please make them stop.
We have had enough of your moralizing.
We've had too much of yours.
All right, move along. Done. Stop it. Get off of the things. Go outside. Get some food. It's like, you know, it's a time of day where you live. Go do something. Shut up, Snoopy. I don't care. You smoke too much. Let's go. Let's go adventure. Let's go explore.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.